The following is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
All right, this is Juice Robinson, and you're listening to Keepin It Strong Style. You better keep listening. We're at WrestleCon having a blast.
Yo, this is Rich Latta from One Nation Radio. This is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network. We present to you the Ace of Podcasts, Keepin It Strong Style. Let's go. It's the Ace of Podcasts, Keepin It Strong Style. Covering New Japan, they ready to hold it down. Jeremy Donovan and the young boy Josh. Come and hit a job out and bury all the frauds. From the Tokyo Dome over to the G1. Social Suplex is the network where we can get it done. I'ma chill and let them have it, cause this is just an intro. Keeping the strong style, 6 stars from the get-go, boy. Yeah, from Tampa Bay to the Tokyo Dome, this is Keeping It Strong Style with your hosts, Jeremy Donovan and the young boy Joshua Smith. And thank you for listening.
Welcome to Keeping It Strong Style, the ace of podcasts on the Social Suplex Podcast Network. Jeremy Donovan here alongside the young boy Josh Smith. On today's show, we'll be reviewing nights 3 through 8 of the Best of the Super Junior tournament, as well as covering all the latest news in the world of New Japan Pro Wrestling. You can support our show and the network by subscribing on the podcast app of your choice and leaving a rating and review. You can also get all the podcasts and columns at socialsuplex.com. Go to socialsuplex.com/subscribe to sign up to get the podcast and columns delivered directly to your email inbox. Also, make sure you check out our friends at purerezuroad.com. Our podcast is featured with a lot of other great Pure Rezu content. Also want to give a quick shout out to Cole Media and Tyler Johnson. Without them, the Social Suplex site wouldn't be set up the way it is. It's a lot of work with the security and the design and setup for Social Suplex. So shout out to those guys. If you're local in Florida, need any video production or website needs, check out Cole Media.
Who is that?
Buddy of mine that helped set up Social Suplex for me, and he runs all the maintenance and security and all this stuff on the back end.
You didn't clear that with me. No one. I didn't give my nod of approval to work with Cole Media. No, I'm just playing, guys. Just so you understand the relationship here, I have nothing to do with running the Social Suplex Podcasting Network. I have nothing to do with the articles, operating what we do day in and day out. It's all Jeremy completely. I'm just the talent. I just show up and I just talk. That's about it.
Man.
Jeremy does everything, actually. Edits our shows. He finds the cool pictures and edits them together, and the nice little video, or not video, but sound packages with the outro songs.
Yeah.
Sometimes Jeremy will ask me what I want as the last song, but that's about it. Sometimes we'll be like, hey, what song do you think we should do? And I'm like, maybe this song. And then Jeremy goes, no, you're wrong. We're doing this. I'm like, all right, Jeremy. And then he puts it together. He's magic. No,
Black magic.
No, but thank you to Cole Media, for real. If you guys need any work, how can they find them?
You go to colemedia.com. Their site's up there. And also, I think he has a YouTube channel with some of his video stuff. He has a really nice drone. So if you need some drone shots, he can hook you up with that as well.
I think our site's due for an overhaul, right? Pretty soon?
Yeah, it is. I'm going to be working on doing a little redesign here pretty soon. The look has been the same for the last couple of years. So I'm going to work on changing that up and just adding some stuff and getting some new features on there.
Nice. When am I going to be able to be the person that reads all that crap at the beginning of the show?
Whenever you want.
I love the beginning. Are you ready? I'm always yeah, I'm ready. And then the show starts, and then Jeremy goes off, and I'm sitting here do all right. No, I'm just playing. No, I wouldn't be able to do it as good as Jeremy does, honestly. My job is to interrupt you and make things weird. That's what I do good.
Oh man. All right, well, let's get started. We have a lot to cover today. Talking about Best of the Super Juniors. It's been a great tournament so far. Last week,
very good.
Yeah, last week we talked about nights 1 and 2. This week we're going to be kind of going through nights 3 and 8, not covering every single match, but kind of focusing on our favorites.
4, 5, 6, and 7 too.
Yeah. What did I say?
You said 3 and 8.
3 through 8 is what I meant to say.
Oh man, it's crazy. We're like halfway through this tournament.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the halftime review here.
We're gonna get into this, but like, you know, one of the things I'm just thankful for is that these were not full production shows, because I don't know if I could have done like 8 or how many nights? 5 full nights of
full production, start to
and the undercard and all that.
I know
I was slacking this week. I only caught up today.
I know a lot of people complain about the single cam and no commentary, but
they're idiots.
Yeah, I think this was perfect, especially for a tournament like this. This was a perfect way. It was very digestible to watch all these shows, just the 4 tournament matches. I mean, I would have loved some commentary, but it didn't bother me.
I do have one complaint, and it's just a persnickety thing, and it's not even me being like snobby about it. It's just I feel like it would be an easy thing to do. I don't know why they have them up as single videos
instead of just one full.
And it's not like why don't they have it as a full video? It's like every show you guys do is what you can watch all the freaking matches back to back to back, especially if they are in order. You know, I'd understand if these matches had other matches in between them.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they don't. They're literally back to back to back. So it'd be easier for me if I could just play one video. But
right.
I mean,
but I'm sure too they probably know that people cherry pick.
I'm sure they do.
Quote unquote best matches.
But they could do it the way they always do. They always have the one long video
and then options to break it up. Yeah.
To break it up. I don't understand why they don't have the long video. I would much rather. I like just putting it on and it just going. You know.
Right.
But other than, I mean, dude, anyone who's gonna complain about the delay or the quality or, you know, I don't know, like the no commentary, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. You know what I mean? Because we're lucky we get to watch this thing.
Right. I mean, back in the day, you know, people had to trade tapes and wait months, even up to a year.
Yeah, people were waiting like 6 months to a year just to watch New Japan, just to figure out what happened. Like, you know, it's like 1994 and they're trying to figure out what happened half a year ago in 1993, let alone they don't even know what's going on right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we're complaining like, it takes a day for them to upload the video. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then, you know, I like the single cam video a lot. And I've been saying it for a while, like ever since the Lionsgate shows, like I like it.
Yeah. It just brings that whole like different feel to the show, more gritty. Feels like you're kind of up in a bleacher.
That is dude. I have had that exact same thought, like, because you and I, we go to a lot of like indie shows.
Yes.
And I think you can agree, like sitting on the floor sounds great, but
it's not. Yeah.
It's not really that great unless you're really close. Like even at those NXT shows we go to, if you're in the middle, it kind of sucks. Right. If you're in the way back, that's almost better. Or if you're in the way front. Or
like the bleacher, you know, like in Tampa, they have like the bleachers.
The bleachers are great. Yeah, I like being anytime we have a chance, if I'm gonna be on the floor or be elevated, I'd rather be elevated because you can see everything.
Yeah.
And the way this hard cam is set up, that is exactly what it feels and looks like. I feel like I'm back in New Orleans watching Rev Pro.
Yes.
Did you have that same feeling?
Yes, bro. Yes.
That is literally what I thought. I was like, this feels just like the bleachers at the Sugar Mill. Like, I was like, it's great. And I don't know, like I'm an old school wrestling fan, so I mean, you know, wrestling used to be presented a lot more this way, with maybe not like WWE or like the NWA. I don't think North American wrestling so much was, but you know, I've been watching, like I've been telling you guys, I've been on the 70s kick, and like old New Japan, like from the 70s, that's how they used to shoot it, was with the hard, I mean, they did have other camera angles, but the majority of it was the hard camera angle that was high up. Same thing with like World of Sport. It's easier when you can see the whole ring. Yeah. I like it better.
Yeah. And they also have a floor cam for when stuff goes to the outside.
Yeah, and that's new. They haven't had that in years past. So I enjoy that a lot, because lately they have been going to the outside and fighting the bleachers, and we'll get into that, but it's convenient when it sucks. Like, do you remember back even in December when they had the single cam shows and they couldn't stay with the guys going to the crowd?
Yeah, when you have guys like LIJ and Suzuki Gun that are always fighting to the outside. Yeah, that World Tag League, there was no floor cam to follow them around.
So this is the first time they've really done this, which I think is a very smart idea.
All right, so let's go ahead and start talking about the A block.
Oh, the A block, which has been great.
Yeah, it has.
I was down on it a little bit, but like I don't know if I would say that it's been Do you think it's been worse, or I don't know?
Worse? What do you mean worse than?
Well, like out of the two, which block have you preferred so far?
I think overall I've still preferred B block compared to A block, but A block has still produced some good matches, and we're going to talk about right now.
It hasn't been as like far apart as I thought it might be.
Right.
I mean, it's been really, really good.
So night 3 was the next A block night. We had Tiger Mask and Yo, Flip Gordon and Kanemaru, Ishimori and Bushi, and Will Ospreay and ACH. What was your favorite match of the night?
For night 3?
Yeah.
Let me take a look. I'm trying to catch up with you. Again, guys, Jeremy's the head honcho here. He does everything way better than me. On that night, yeah, I mean, that's an easy one for me. I really, really, really liked Will Ospreay and ACH.
Yeah, I mean, that match, that was like a banger main event right there. Both those guys are great high flyers, and they really delivered here. I mean, the athleticism was, top level. A lot of great back and forth. The crowd was really into this match and into the near falls. ACH, man, this guy, he looked great. I mean, his selling is so great. He came in here with the injured shoulder. He also has some tape on like the hamstring.
Are these legit injuries or are they kayfabe?
Dude, I think every time I see an ACH match, he has something taped up. That guy just loves to sell. Like, I've been binging like the first 6 episodes of MLW. The first episode is him versus Austin Aries. His ribs are taped up. And even in MLW, his leg is still taped up. I'm like, this guy just loves to sell.
You really think that?
I don't think.
You think it's a gimmick?
I think so. There's pretty much every ACH match I've seen the last few months, he's had something taped up.
I wouldn't know enough to say one way or the other, because I think I went on record when we started this this tournament that I'm not as familiar with ACH, even though I've seen a lot of his stuff. I haven't avidly watched him as a performer. With that being said, I've been so impressed. I mean, for me, I think he might be one of the, maybe not, if not one of, he might be the top guy in the A block right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that they should try and sign full time. I know he's, doing MLW right now. He's doing AAW's AAW champion. So I'm not sure what his commitment is to both of those companies, but
hey, it's 2018. You can be all over the place now. You know what I mean?
Right. And what I've heard with the MLW deals is they're allowed to work wherever except WWE, obviously. So they're trying to keep those guys out of there. So.
Do you think that's why a lot of those guys wouldn't? Because there was reports recently that WWE was offering contracts to a lot of those guys. Do you think that's why they didn't get as many of them as you think they would?
Yeah, they're probably locked down on those MLW deals.
Well, maybe not even. I wouldn't even say locked down. Do you think it's more like? Do you think? We haven't heard anything concrete, but do you think it's a scenario where people are realizing like, hey, if I go to WWE, this is the situation. If I stay here, I get this big money contract and I can work wherever I want, numerous places, and the opportunities are still kind of, you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I haven't heard anything enough to say if anyone said no or anything like that. But, going back to ACH though, one thing he's been doing, I really like that spot he does where he runs up the turnbuckle and kicks the dude
like a somersault kick kind of thing.
The Matrix. He runs up like he's Tiger Mask, freaking circa 83, and kicks people in the head though. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Or in the arm.
I also love his spot where he does he throws him down to the backbreaker and then transitions into a German.
Yeah. So that's been cool. And the thing is too is like you said with the selling, he's been selling the shoulder and the arm the whole tournament, and not only that, Will Ospreay's been selling obviously the neck, which is a persisting thing. So that was a big part of the story of this match. You know what I mean? These two guys with injuries trying to class each other as far as athletic skills go. I thought on night 3 that was the best match. Although I will say, I didn't think night 3 was the greatest, but it was still very good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's something that popped me was Mean Tiger Mask.
Yeah.
Pulling up another win here.
Yep. So Tiger Mask beat Yo in 13 minutes and 35 seconds, which I'm a little perplexed by the run he's getting. Right. I think maybe it might get halted, and maybe this is it. But the fact that he went on he's on a three-match run,
yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Tiger Mask is a guy that a lot of people, who entered our contest saw Tiger Mask in the Liger role from last year. A lot of people had Tiger losing a majority of his matches. I don't think anybody had Tiger winning any of the first couple matches.
I think I did, but at the same time, I think I've said before, I only have him with 4 points at the end of the day.
Right.
I've got him losing 6 times, and it's
right.
This is, but it's been fun.
Dude,
it's been fun.
Yeah, it has been fun. I've been popping for him winning because every time he wrestles, I'm like, all right.
I'm like, yeah, is he gonna do this crap again? This is like when Ricky Choshu had that nostalgia run in the G1 all those years ago. I'm like, yeah, come on, Tiger Mask. I wish they would have done this for Liger though.
Yes. Disrespect our boy Liger.
I mean, if there's someone that they could have given a nostalgia run to, it should have been Liger, but. Yeah, I thought the match with him and Yo was really good. I thought Flip and Kanemaru was okay. Flip ended up beating Kanemaru in 10 minutes, which it was fine for what it was,
Yeah.
Ishimori and Bushi was... I think there was one match that you really liked Ibushi's. Was it this one?
No, I don't think it was this one.
Okay, yeah. Because this one was...
Or was it this one?
This one was just okay. But Ishimori,
I don't think it was this one.
Was it Bushi and Will Ospreay?
Yeah, I think it was that one. Yeah.
Okay, so this match was good though. So, man, this is almost daunting to have to go through all these different nights this way. But overall thoughts on night 3. Obviously, we both really, really, really enjoyed the ACH and Will Ospreay match. Was there anything that really stuck out to you from any of these? Aside from just obviously Tiger Mask winning.
No, I mean, like we said, Flip and Kanemaru, nothing special. Flip got a good win there. Ishimori and Bushi, once again, I mean, good match. Ishimori got a win. Yeah.
So I say we talk about night 5.
Right, let's stick with A block.
Nice.
So moving on to night 5, that was on the 24th, the next A block night. We had Tiger Mask defeating Bushi, Kanemaru defeating ACH, Flip Gordon defeating Ishimori, and Will Ospreay defeating Yo. What was your favorite this night?
Yeah. Oh, Will Ospreay and Yo by far. This was another night that was good. I don't think there's been anything bad on any of these nights at all.
Right.
Which has been pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, Will Ospreay versus Yo, I thought was just awesome. Really, really good.
That was a great showing for Yo. And, he's been kind of booked as the underdog compared to his tag partner Show. And we actually got a question in from K9 the God on Reddit asking, who do you see having more of a star out of Yo and Show? And Yo, he's been booked in this kind of underdog role.
I found it very interesting.
We'll talk about Show when we get to the B block, but Show has been positioned as a top competitor.
Yeah.
And has been even with pretty much all the guys he's faced in the B block, where Yo's had to play that come from behind underdog babyface.
That is true, and that is 100% true, but I don't think they've made him look weak. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
They've done a really good job of making him look like he is outgunned to a certain degree.
Right.
But not and maybe even a little bit outclassed, but that he still is a very talented guy who finds a way to potentially win and comes very close to winning in most cases.
Right. I mean,
he doesn't look like a geek.
Right. There's a big difference between being booked weak and being booked as an underdog that's, fighting.
Right.
And
I've been getting behind him. I've liked it. And he even starting to sell me a little bit on his outfit.
Oh, really?
Not too much. I still don't like the tassels. I think you should get rid of the tassels.
Yeah, I think if we lost the tassels, it'd be fine.
Maybe I don't know, maybe shorten them up and maybe do them on both sides or something like that.
Right.
Like a Tatanka or a Conan, circa AAA, sort of gimmick. But I don't know. But yeah, he's been really, really good. His match with Will Ospreay, they had a lot of time. They got like 16 minutes plus, and I thought it was very, very good, especially since they're both stablemates.
Yeah, chaos versus chaos here.
So it kind of started off with a lot of, kind of pleasantries and like, trying to outclass one another. And then it devolved into like all out, like trying to beat each other. And they did a good job of making Yo look like he was on Ospreay's level to a certain degree, even though he was underneath. And he had a lot of close near falls. Like, that's his gimmick in this tournament. He's like the roll-up guy.
Right. Like, trying to catch
you with like little roll-ups and stuff like that. We still we haven't seen Yo's finisher, have we?
No, I don't think we have.
So I'm wondering what that's even going to be. Right now, like, I think it's like a victory roll.
Small package.
Or a small package, or like so I don't know. Tiger Mask beat Bushi again, so...
Bro, once again, dude, grumpy, mean Tiger Mask it's just at his grumpiest in this tournament and just beating everybody.
Yeah, he's hitting guys with like stiff strikes. Like, he's doing really well.
He got that hardcore Holly mentality. Almost gonna beat everybody.
And how about this? So at this point in the tournament, Taiji Ishimori had been undefeated, and looky who beat Ishimori.
Flip.
Now, I don't want to toot my own horn too much, but I did predict that one of the guys that was going to beat Ishimori in this tournament was Flip Gordon.
Yeah, you saw the vision on that one.
Yeah, so I felt pretty proud of that.
And I was totally all behind Flip in this match. I really wanted Flip to get the win here. And he pulled it off with a jackknife bridge and cradled up Ishimori. Big surprise win, 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Ishimori.
Yeah, that cradle was quick.
Just didn't see it coming.
No.
Yeah.
No, it was quick. Yeah, and Ishimori seemed like he was kind of in control in that match too. So good little story there. Good little win. And I don't know. You want to go to night 7?
Yeah, nothing with Kanemaru and ACH.
Nothing really stuck out to me that I can really remember. I know Kanemaru like cheated. He missed at ACH with the whiskey and hit the brainbuster, and then hit him with the deep impact, and that was about it.
Yeah,
it was a good match. ACH's been just selling. And
dude, his selling is so great. Like, this guy should be a champion in every promotion he's in.
Us,
yes.
You think it's Randy Savage-esque, his selling?
I don't know. It's hard to compare people to like Savage, but I mean,
I still for me to this day, like that's like the what you compare selling to, like a guy who can sell a body part. Like, it's like, is he as good as Savage? But ACH's been great.
He's up there.
ACH's been really, really good. And then night 7. So I thought night 7 was absolutely the weakest night of the tournament so far.
Yeah, we had Flip giving Tiger Mask his first loss. ACH defeated Yo. Kanemaru gave Ishimori his second loss.
Oh.
And then Bushi gave Will Ospreay his second loss.
So for me, I'm going to say my favorite match of the night was probably Bushi and Will Ospreay, but that's not to say I didn't think it was outstanding or anything.
Yeah.
I thought it was like, what were your thoughts like on this night?
I'm trying to figure out if this was a Bushi match that I liked or not.
There was a Bushi match you really liked.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one it was. I feel like maybe it was the Ishimori match.
Yeah, I can't remember right now. But I think it might have been, the Ishimori match. But yeah, I mean, this, out of all the Ospreay matches, obviously this was definitely not the best one.
Yeah, I think that this was Will Ospreay's weakest deliverance, or weakest performance,
yeah.
I would say. Which, that's not to knock these guys. I mean, we're halfway through the tournament. It's their 4th night, plus they're wrestling in between every single night. They do deserve some off nights. It just seemed like everybody was the off night for everybody. And the matchups were a little bit, I mean, I don't know, if I was going to look at this on paper, I would probably already would have guessed based on the matchups it was going to be one of the weaker nights.
Yeah, I mean, Flip and Tiger Mask, I think
when we were looking at the nights, I said Flip and Tiger Mask was the match to look out for the most, because I thought it was more interesting than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. Flip was able to knock off Tiger Mask. Mm-hmm. And I think from here on out, Tiger Mask is going to be taking some L's.
Well, we'll see. It takes about 8 to 10 points usually to be in the the running.
But
he's already got 6.
But the story here, though, with Flip beating Tiger Mask is that he takes control of the A block because he now holds a tiebreaker over Tiger Mask.
Really?
Right.
Wow.
So the final rankings at the end of night 7 for A block, you have at the bottom you got Bushi, 1 point or 2 points, Yo with 2 points, ACH with 4 points, Ospreay 4 points, Ishimori 4 points, Kanemaru 4 points, and then tied at the top, Flip Gordon and Tiger Mask both with 6. So since Flip beat Tiger Mask, if they ended up in a draw, Flip would get the overall win since he beat Tiger Mask this night.
So with that being the case, we're definitely at a point where nobody's knocked out at all in this block yet.
Even Bushi and Yo are still alive. I mean, but they would have to pretty much win everything, all the remaining matches,
or at least 3 more of them. You need about 8 points minimum to be in the conversation, so that's essentially 4 wins. So if you got 4 more matches, and for those 2 guys in particular, Yo and Bushi, who only have one, they have 2 points each, they need at least 3 more wins. If they eat like 2 more losses, they're pretty much done.
Right.
At this point, wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, definitely. And I gotta say, I'm surprised at the booking of the A block right here. Like, I would have definitely not predicted Tiger Mask to be 3-1 right now.
No.
And I wouldn't have predicted Flip to be 3-1 right now.
I think I had Flip pretty high.
At the end of it, I think I have Flip high, but at this point in the tournament, I would think Flip would be either 2-2 or 1-3.
The guys that I had like pretty high personally were like Flip, Kanemaru, Ishimori, Ospreay, and I think Bushi.
Yeah.
And I am a little surprised that Bushi is so low, but again, I feel like he's about to go on a run.
Right. Yeah, Bushi is one of the guys, I know, looking back at previous tournaments, he's always had good runs, and I think I placed him pretty high in my predictions. So yeah, I'm very surprised. I mean, he's 1-3 right now. He's down there with Yo.
So right now, like, Flip only needs like 2 more wins
to pretty much secure this.
Yeah, and same thing with Tiger Mask. Like, those 2 guys, if they get like 2 more wins, they're gonna be close to walking away with this thing, which means I'm assuming that they've got some losses coming up here in the near future.
I mean, this was the first loss for Tiger Mask. I can see Tiger Mask losing the remainder of his matches.
So let's talk about this. At the end of night 7, Bushi versus Will Ospreay, which I thought was the match of the night, which was good overall, but nothing crazy. Will Ospreay goes for a Robinson special, and Bushi counters it, the Oz cutter, into a backstabber. He hits the Enziguri and Destroyer, which gets a near fall, and then he hits the MX and gets the 1-2-3 over the champion.
Yeah, that was...
I was shocked.
Yeah, I was shocked. I mean, first of all, I gotta say, Bushi's Destroyer is very nice, and I always buy it for a near fall. Every time he hits...
Every time I see it, I think that's...
it looks like just like kills it. I know like the Destroyer is on that list with like super kicks and cutters. Like everybody does them now.
Like Canadian Destroyers?
Yeah.
I think it's stupid. I think like most pile driver derivatives should be pretty much a finish.
Yeah.
I'm just old school in that way.
Yeah. And
you're dropping a dude on his neck.
Right. And like with the Destroyer, like you're flipping and dropping him on his neck. But I still buy Bushi's as a near fall, even though he never uses it as the finish. But yeah, he went up for the MX, and I was waiting for like Ospreay to like maybe catch him with a kick or catch him with something, but no, hit that MX clean.
Which is very interesting because this could set up a situation now where, let's say if he wins the block or if Ishimori wins the block, those are the 2 guys who have victories over him. That could maybe play into the storyline going into Dominion if they win the tournament, or set up a future title defense. Who knows? At San Francisco, or one of these other like destruction shows or something else like that that's coming up in the near future.
Right. And but one thing that did annoy me with this match and the Kanemaru match is just like
the cheating.
Yeah, this is the unnecessary ref bumps. Like, I feel like usually the ref bump a ref bump should play into the finish, but like you would have like like in this Ospreay Bushi match, like they could have gone without, like the ref bump didn't really change the finish of the match.
You know what's interesting? Night 7, as far as in-ring action, might not have been the most like interesting night, but as far as like booking decisions, it is very interesting. I mean, because you had Will Ospreay going over Bushi, and then
Bushi going over.
I'm sorry, Bushi going over Will Ospreay, and then Kanemaru went over Ishimori.
Right, I mean,
which was another, like, I was a little baffled by that. I didn't expect Kanemaru to pick up that win. Well, actually, you know what? I did. I predicted that win.
But you weren't.
But again, it's one of those things where it's just how my bracket worked out.
Right, and Kanemaru is a guy, I look back at previous.
He always does well.
He always does well. He's another guy I had booking doing well. And so when he started off with a couple of losses, I was like, oh man, my bracket's not looking good. But he pulls up an upset over Ishimori. So they definitely got something planned for I think Kanemaru.
Now, listeners, at this point, I predicted for Ishimori to basically go on a 2-win losing streak against Flip and Kanemaru. From here on out, I see him going on nothing but wins. Same thing with Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
Well, actually, at this, I didn't expect Will Ospreay to lose again until the final night to Flip Gordon. So that really changes my booking quite a bit. I expected him to go undefeated all the way to the finals and then lose to Flip. So we'll see. But yeah, they're tied at 2-2 right now, and those are the two of the favored guys in this tournament.
Right. Yeah, I can easily see them the next few nights rising to the top of this A block.
So let's do a quick rundown. So Flip Gordon's leading with 3-1, 6 points. Tiger Mask is 3-1, 6 points. In the middle of the pack, you got Kanemaru at 2-2, Ishimori at 2-2, Will Ospreay at 2-2, and then ACH at 2-2 in that order specifically. And then Yo with 1-3, and Bushi is also 1-3. So it is still anyone's game, but man, Flip and Tiger are leading.
All right.
What are your thoughts on the guys and the block overall, and like, you know, what have you seen that stuck out to you, I guess?
Well, I think, you know, obviously I think Will Ospreay is definitely...
He's Will Ospreay.
He's Will Ospreay. I mean...
But he's been in the main event every night.
Yeah, main event every night. His matches usually have been the best matches on the A block nights. ACH, man, this guy, just a great seller.
I think that's the biggest difference for me. If I'm being honest and I really think about it, like, there's been intriguing booking decisions with the A block. Will Ospreay's had a lot of great, like, main event matches with guys, but that the undercard hasn't been extremely, like, riveting. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I think night 1, it was like, night 1 was for me still one of the best nights of the whole tournament, but past that, it's been Will Ospreay and someone else having a great match in the main event, and the undercards have just been very good, but nothing like blow away. You know what I mean?
Right. But yeah, I mean, the A block, I mean, definitely compared to the B block, we've said, you know, B
whereas
block.
Like the B block's been
bangers.
Bangers up and down, not only in the main event.
Yeah, I mean, A block definitely got a lot of storytelling with Tiger Mask's run, Flip's run,
and some of these upsets.
Yeah, Ishimori beating Ospreay the first night, and then the 2 losses with Ishimori and 2 losses from Ospreay. So they're telling a lot of stories in the A block. I mean, they're telling stories in the B block too, but the B block, it's really been like all about the in-ring, the match quality.
Yeah, I agree.
So speaking of B block, let's transition over to talking about the B block.
So we're gonna go to night 4.
Yep. So
Best of the Super Juniors, night 4. Yeah, so these guys have just been killing it. And
so
this was this the last like full production show?
Yeah.
So I mean, just kind of running down that, we opened up with Ishimori and Chase Owens taking on Flip and Oka. I thought it was a good opener. Nothing really special there, except for I really like this team of Ishimori and Chase Owens.
Yeah, they're gelling pretty well together.
Well, I like Ishimori. I think they don't really have too many juniors in freaking Bullet Club anymore. But,
yeah, it's just him and Marty.
But I like him and Chase together a lot. And I mean, obviously, you know, with Flip and Oka being in a team together, you kind of knew who was going to take the fall there.
Right.
I was glad to see Chase Owens bust out the package pile driver.
Get a win. It's always good for Chase to get a win.
Yeah, he's always tapping out all the time. But the match that stuck out to me on the undercard the most was Suzuki and Kanemaru taking on ACH and Shota Umino.
Whew. Oh my gosh.
I think
this man Suzuki was beating the crap out of ACH and Umino.
I seen people online calling him Murder Grandpa.
Yeah, that's what he was, man. This guy was literally killing these guys.
Dude, ACH was like trying his hardest to like do the thing where he runs up and hits him with the forearm and knocks him down. And
Suzuki's just sitting there.
He was just looking at him like he was a velociraptor or some crap. Like it was Jurassic Park. And like, and ACH just like a little lamb. He's going to devour him.
Yeah,
bro.
ACH would hit him and then Suzuki would fire back and like ACH was just a crumble.
And you know what was funny? The star of that match was Shota Umino. Not really ACH.
Yeah.
Umino was the guy who like got in all the fiery offense, the near falls. ACH was pretty much just there to like get beat up by Suzuki.
Which was weird because I mean you think they would protect the A block guys there, but yeah, Suzuki was just laying it into that man.
But Kanemaru ended up tapping out Umino with a Boston Crab young boy finish.
Yeah.
Yep, so pretty good match. Yoshihashi and Yo took on Will Ospreay and Geto, which was an all chaos. Sorry, guys, all chaos match there. And this was fun. This was like had a lot of comedy in it. Geto was cheating.
Yeah.
But nothing really like, I don't know, it's Yoshihashi.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lighthearted match. Like, 4 chaos guys.
Yeah.
They don't want to brutalize each other.
Yes, I mean, but at the same time, we got a little bit of the Yo and Will Ospreay tease, which was great. And then the next night, they had a very good match, too. So that was cool. And then Naito and Bushi taking on Tiger Mask and Toa Hanare. What did you think of that? With like Toa Hanare and Naito kind of squaring off.
I mean, that was good, but I mean, in these undercard matches, Naito tends to kind of mail it in.
Naito did not care, bro.
Right.
This is worse than a Ring of Honor show.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't care at all.
Yeah, he was just doing the bare minimum there. But, you know, Toa Hanare is a guy, man, he's mixing it up with a lot of these top guys and getting better every time.
So, since we're on the night, do you want to talk about what happened after the match?
Yeah, so
might as well like get into it.
Right, they aired that video of Crazy Man and Jericho going off on Naito.
Oh,
if you haven't seen that yet, go watch it. It's up on, you know, New Japan World, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, you can find it anywhere. But Jericho's just going off on this man.
So yes, I mean, you know, Naito hits a Destino on Hanare, gets the 1-2-3. They're kind of celebrating in the ring after they kind of jump Tiger Mask a little bit, and then suddenly the lights kind of dim down, and right there in Korakuen, you see Chris Jericho pop up on the screen, and he cuts like a profanity like laced like
F-bomb like every other word.
Bro, I mean, but dude, I think one of the things that I said a few weeks ago was that one of the problems I had with this whole entire thing was like we didn't get that whole promo like when him and Omega first squared off, we got the promo. We kind of understood what his motivation was. With Naito, we never really have gotten like a verbalization of why he's attacking Naito.
Yeah.
And now, like with this promo, we kind of get it. At least there's something to attach yourself to. It's not just like I'm attacking you and there's no reason behind it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even if it's not like the most razor like focused or like laser focused reasons or anything like that. At least we understand like Jericho doesn't like Naito.
Yeah.
That's what we learned. What were your thoughts on this promo?
Man, like you said, it was, you know, profanity filled, crazy. I mean, this is like, you know, Terry Funk times 10. Like, Jericho's just like the old crazy man now.
Dude, it reminds me of like CWF or when he was in Memphis, like, or when he came back and attacked Flair. Like, it's so old school what he's doing. Even it reminds me of like some of his ECW promos as an old man too.
Yeah,
like,
Jericho's like this another.
He's like channeling Terry. The way he like channeled Bockwinkel when he like back in 2008
when he's doing a suit gimmick and the big words. Yeah.
Yep, and he kind of was channeling like Nick Bockwinkel at the time. Like he is literally like Terry Funk's not even dead, but he is channeling his spirit through it. And I freaking love, bro, Chris Jericho. Like I'm so much more excited for this match. I mean, yeah, this took place on the Best of Super Juniors, and you kind of want the focus to be on the juniors, but like we don't have very long till Dominion.
Dominion's literally right around the corner.
It's like what, 2 weeks away?
Yeah, but it's interesting you said that because that was what Naito was saying in his backstage promo.
What did he say?
He's like, why did they play this video? Like the focus should be on the juniors. So like, why are people talking about this? They should be talking about Bushi and the juniors.
I mean, I get what he's saying, but at the same time, like this is if you don't have much time to do it, like better late than never. You know what I mean?
That's just Naito being tranquilo and like not caring.
I know it's kayfabe. I know it's kayfabe, Jeremy.
Just saying, some people get worked a lot out in these streets by.
I'm not getting worked. Although, how about Friday night? Were we getting worked or not?
Oh yeah. So quick aside, we were at FIP show here in Tampa, Florida. And one of our wrestler friends that we've kind of became friends with, this guy,
You're friends with Effie. I'm scared of Effie. Effie's like cool with me and stuff, but I'm still like nervous. Like, I don't know.
So Effie was going against, what's his name? Francisco Chiazzo, who's a trainer with Matt Sydal at the WWN school here in Florida. Yeah. And before the show, we were talking to Effie, and he was like, I don't care about this match. I don't care about.
Dude, he was like, I could care less about this match. I really don't care. And like, Effie's kind of like, if you've ever met the dude, like, he really doesn't care. Like, he'll just shoot. Yeah. And we're like, what do you mean, man?
You're like, are you gonna shoot?
No, I was like, well, what do you mean? He's like, it doesn't matter. He like wouldn't get into it, and then he's like. He like told Ben, who was with us, what's up, Ben? Yeah. He told Ben, he's like, oh, I'm gonna F up an old man tonight. We're like, do it. And I was like, you gonna shoot? But I was joking, and then he was like, psh, no. And I was like, wait, you're saying that kind of sarcastic. Like, what does that mean? Are you gonna shoot or not? Like,
yeah. And
like,
so then,
I don't know what you're saying right now.
They had the match, and it felt like a shoot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what was happening there. Obviously, like, there was still... It wasn't a full fight, because you know what a full fight, like, looks and feels like.
Right.
But, bro...
It wasn't a match, dude. Like, they were, like, charging at each other and, like, just hitting each other with, like, straight fists to the back.
Yeah, and you can check it all out on the WWN network for $9.99. I think they've got it up with the FIP, but I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but I felt like we were, like, either we were getting worked by master workers... Or it was something weird was going on.
There's some heat between those guys.
It really felt like there was real heat between them because they were hitting each other so freaking hard, and like no one was like selling anything. And
right, and then it's like ended the match.
Yeah, and everyone was mad. The match just ended, and they like didn't finish. I mean, they kind of set up an angle for the future, but I'm like, what is happening right now?
Right, and with FIP, there are no rules, so for a match to just stop.
That's right. I forgot about it. There's no rules there,
so it just stopped.
It just stopped.
Like it stopped. The ref threw the match out, but it's like it's FIP. Like
yeah, you see guys get choked out on the ropes, and like that's the finish of the match, and like all sorts of crazy crap. But this like just stopped, and like if he just went to the back, and I was like, is this an angle or what's? I don't know.
Yeah, so
I know we're keeping it strong style, but that was strong style.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there.
So back to this
to night four.
Night 4, these B block matches. We had
well, did we finish talking about Jericho? I'm loving it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. I'm super excited for him and Naito. I guess next week. Are we going to do like a Dominion preview or no? We'll talk. I guess we'll see.
We'll see how it with all the Best of Super Junior stuff we have to cover. We'll see if we have time for a preview. I know we're going to be covering the junior finals and Dominion on the same show.
I love the fact that he like basically told him that he's going to take the intercontinental title. He's like, I'm going to take it back to America, away from these filthy Japanese animals,
and become a 10-time. He's going to count it with his WWE title.
The whole time he's calling the Japanese fans like filthy animals. They're so polite.
They're just like sitting there.
They're not even like reacting, and obviously like it's being subtitled. They're just sitting there like being polite. Like how can you call those people filthy animals? And they're being so polite to you. They're like waiting for your promo to get done to react to it.
Right.
Like, they're being so nice to you, and yeah, it's hilarious. Jericho, Madman Jericho, like this crazy dude, Jericho. I love it.
It's awesome.
Do you think we're gonna see Jericho beyond this?
I don't know, man. From all the reports, he's really liking his creative freedom that he has in New Japan. So he has no really, solid WWE contract. So, I mean, it's really up in the air, man. Anything could happen. Like, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him at Wrestle Kingdom.
I'm not making any more predictions about Jericho because I've been wrong the whole year. I'm leaving it up to you. Whatever you say, you are the voice of Keeping It Strong Style. What you say is our official stance on the matter.
Yeah, it's just he's just unpredictable.
Yeah, so let's get into these matches. So we started off night 4 with just a banger. Show versus Chris Sabin.
Dude, I really liked this match.
Yeah.
Like, this was like a strong style match right here. These guys were slugging it out through this match. A lot of big power moves from Show and Sabin. Once again, Show just being presented on the same level as his opponent, as Chris Sabin. And, back to our question we got earlier, I mean, I definitely think Show is going to be the star out of between Show and Yo.
I think they're both going to be. I think they're both like positioned to be the future of New Japan. Whether that be in this division or even in the heavyweights, I don't know. But like, I think that they have bright futures ahead of them for where they're positioned and what they've done. But dude, Show is special.
Yeah, man.
Show is special.
And he finally hit his shock arrow package pile driver.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah, I popped for that because he's been, teasing it in the prior matches, and he was finally able to hit it here.
Yeah, so I mean, at this point, like, Chris Sabin's been having a killer tournament.
Oh yeah,
and then him and Show just have like a banger match, like 3 3/4. Like,
yeah, it's been refreshing having Sabin in singles matches again. Like I've mentioned in previous podcasts, I was a big Sabin guy with his run in TNA, and those 2 knee injuries, those 2 years that he had off, really like slowed down his momentum. I mean, Sabin was a guy that you mentioned in the same sentences as an AJ Styles, a Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels,
any of those guys.
He was like an elite in that class of wrestlers, and those knee injuries really kind of threw him off, and he's been kind of doing tag stuff ever since he's came back from those injuries. And I mean, the Motor City Machine Gun run in Ring of Honor has been fine, but
yeah, it's not what it was in
TNA. I mean, there's been no really blow away matches since they've been back together.
I don't think that's their fault though. That probably has more to do with the current state of things in Ring of Honor.
Right. I mean, in Ring of Honor, like the Bullet Club guys are the ones that are all over. But it's been great seeing Sabin once again in singles action and getting back to, I mean, every match you could kind of see him getting his confidence back and kind of showing why he was one of the elite wrestlers.
But bro, one thing I've been very impressed with about Show, and we'll talk about it because we're going to talk about a few of his matches, but he's been matched up with so many different kinds of styles, and he's able to hang with them in every different type of style. And they're painting the picture and telling the story that he is on the level of all the guys he's wrestling. Like, if he walked out of this tournament and got like maybe not at Dominion, but if he got a junior title match before the end of the year, I would not even be surprised. Like, and that's how good New Japan is at making stars. They can take a tournament and make a dude.
Yeah.
Like they can, and they have before, and they've got a track record of doing it. And I think the one guy, not to say that they aren't setting up guys and giving guys great pushes during the tournament, but the guy that they have done more for than anyone else so far is Show.
Like, yeah, they've really got behind him and given him a nice little push in this tournament. So, I mean, it's not going to be long before Roppongi 3K is broken up and both of these guys are doing their thing.
We'll see. Yeah. I don't know. You think that's really the case?
I don't think it's going to happen this year, but I could see, sometime, maybe even next year, or maybe at least 2 years, some point soon, they're going to break these guys up. And
yeah, they do have a track record of doing that. That makes me sad for the junior division.
Right. I mean, I don't think they'll break them up until they have another junior team kind of lined up to take their spot.
Huh.
But, I mean, yeah, I don't see Roppongi 3K being a long-term tag team.
Well, after that, we got Taguchi and Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee defeated Taguchi. This was decent. It's pretty good.
Yeah, good little back-and-forth match there.
We haven't really got big match Taguchi yet.
Right. This was probably... We saw some signs here in this match. And man, I've been in love with Dragon Lee.
It's been your guy in this tournament.
Yeah, man, I've just really enjoyed all of his matchups. Even this matchup right here, I enjoyed this matchup. Just
this is what Dragon Lee's second best of Super Juniors in a row. I think this is second overall.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, just mixing the lucha style with like Taguchi, we'll call it Taguchi style, just the hip attacks and goofing off and then getting serious. But
was genius, now pervert.
Yeah. And so yeah, that was a fun match. And then we had the villain Marty Scurll against Kushida. This was a very technical match.
I liked it.
Yeah, both of these guys, they have submission moves that affect that use the arm. So they were working on both of each other's arms majority of the match. It was a very ground-based matchup, which plays into both of their strengths. Kushida and Scurll are both, ground-based technical wrestlers. Kushida does do a little bit more can do more flying and can't fly when it comes to it. Scurll really doesn't do that much flying. So yeah, this was a great back and forth exchange here.
For me, this night was so far up to that point the best showing from the B block.
Oh yeah,
I thought that this night was almost on par with night one, with you had a near 4-star match between Sho and Chris Sabin. You had a really good match between Dragon Lee and Taguchi. This match was also right there in the near 4-star match, 4-star range. They got almost 20 minutes to work. Kushida ended up defeating Marty Scurll, which God knows Kushida needed it.
Yeah, hit the Back to the Future.
And I think at this point, Marty's at 0?
Yeah.
Because I think he lost to Hiromu the first night. This was the second night.
At the end of this night, Scurll was 0-2.
So, yeah, Kushida, big win. Really, really, really big win. And, I enjoyed this match a lot. I've really liked Kushida and Marty Scurll a lot in this tournament.
Yeah, they've been both putting out some great stuff. And then the main event, we had Takahashi and Desperado. Interesting notes here. This is the first time in 7 years that these two have faced off in singles action.
Yeah, there was an interesting note. They'd wrestled a bunch of times prior to this, and almost every single time Desperado had beaten Hiromu. Yeah,
Desperado pretty much owned Takahashi when he was a young lion. Also, another note here, Desperado was wearing his old pre-Suzuki-gun mask.
I liked that.
Match.
He was wearing the white mask.
Yeah.
I liked that a lot. I don't know. But
dude, this is the best Desperado match that I've seen since I've been watching New Japan full time.
Yeah, this match was great, and I would say up to this point was the match of the tournament.
Yeah.
I liked it even better than ACH and Flip, and I liked it better than Ishimori and Osprey. And what else happened on night 2 that was really good?
Dragon Lee and Sho.
I thought this was better than Dragon Lee and Sho. It was different though. It was different. It was a hardcore match.
Yeah, well, this was just a hate. I mean, the rivalry. We said the rivalry's been there. There's a backstory here.
Well, they've been feuding too, the last 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah, the tag title feud. These guys just hate each other, and you saw that. I mean, it was a hate-filled brawl.
Which I'm all about.
Yeah, they played off their history. And they were just going at each other.
They were in the crowd right off the gate, choking each other, using chairs. Just these guys, I guess, used to be old dojo enemies,
Right. And, Takahashi, really upped his intensity here.
Yeah. They were working stiff.
Yeah. So, yeah, this was an awesome match. There's a lot of drama, full of intensity. And, man, I want Desperado to be having more matches like this.
Yeah, they don't always get the opportunity to do all this. Did you see the post on Reddit where they were comparing the amount of time that guys have gotten this year versus in years past?
Yes, I did see that.
And they've gotten a lot more time this year.
The average of the tournament, there's been more, it's been higher this year.
Yeah. And so that's been nice. This was a match that went almost 24 minutes, just over 23 minutes. And it was awesome. It was violent. There were so many great near falls. Desperado at the end started cheating. And so I thought he was going to basically pulling out, and then all of a sudden Takahashi was ahead, and you didn't know what was going to happen. I really, really, really like this match.
Yeah, this was a man. So if you want a recommendation to watch from this night, definitely watch this Desperado and Takahashi match.
And this match was very different from the other tournament matches, like we said before. So I mean, take us through like the action. What ended up happening here, basically? Because I was shocked by it, to be honest with you.
All right, so coming on towards the end, they're trading strikes. Takahashi smiles and fires up as they continue to trade strikes. Desperado lays in a headbutt, drops Takahashi with a forearm. Takahashi fights off the Pinche Loco and hits an overhead suplex to the buckles. Hits a dynamite plunger, gets a 2. Takahashi is completely frustrated at this point. He goes for another dynamite plunger, but Desperado escapes. Takahashi avoids a low blow. Desperado counters the time bomb, but Takahashi hits a German for a near fall. Desperado uses a ref to counter the time bomb, grabs his junior tag title. Takahashi super kicks it into his face for a near fall. Desperado still has the belt. The ref takes it away. He lows blow Takahashi. He hits the El Guitarra de Angel, which is the angel wings, for a near fall. And then he connects with the Pinche Loco and defeats Takahashi.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is totally accurate, but Reddit user The Just posted and said that when these guys came through in the same class back in 2010, 2011, Desperado has 18 victories over Hiromu in history, while Hiromu just has 1.
Wow, that's worse than Jay White and Dave Finlay.
Yeah, and at this point, obviously, Hiromu is like one of the shining stars of the division. I love the idea of the long-term storytelling that even, like, for those who've been watching for a long time can look back and see where something like this, like Hiromu basically, even though he's the bigger star, like Desperado's still his senpai.
Yeah.
And like he was still able to find a way to like pick, like to basically, you know, get the win over Hiromu, who's the bigger star, which I didn't see it coming.
I thought for sure Takahashi was going to get the win here.
I haven't looked at my bracket. I don't know how I'm doing with that, but I was very shocked. But yeah, this match was freaking awesome. I mean, this is like close to, I don't know, like 4.5.
Yeah, I gave it 4.5.
Just really, 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 really good. I thought night 4 was the best B night that they've had so far.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't really ask for more when you've got like 4 matches that all are around the same average of about 4 stars. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah, great night. So moving on to night 6, this was a single cam night, no commentary.
I think night 4 is the last like full production show.
Yep. So on night 6 we had Skrull against Sabin, Taguchi against Kushida, Sho against Desperado, and Dragon Lee versus Takahashi.
Yeah, so this night was good. We'll start with obviously Skrull and Sabin. I thought Skrull and Sabin was okay.
Yeah, like they won 14 minutes, but for some reason it felt really short.
It felt short, yeah.
And maybe
I don't know why.
I think because I think the ending was kind of abrupt because Skrull hit this reverse suplex and won off of that.
He'd been hitting that earlier in the tournament too, and then afterwards, and nobody else got pinned with that move,
right,
which I thought was interesting.
So yeah, to me, I didn't even outside of New Japan, I've never seen Skrull finish anybody with the reverse suplex. So he kind of hit it and just pinned Sabin. I was like, that's it.
I agree. I like the move though. I mean, if they're gonna establish it as something that's like an actual danger, a dangerous move, I'm cool with it. But it just kind of came from out of nowhere. But the only thing I didn't like about it is like we've seen it in the context of the same tournament, and no one else has been put down with it.
Yeah.
And Sabin's one of the like tournament leaders at this point, and Skrull's got no win, so obviously Skrull needed the win.
Right. I mean, yeah, this was a big win for Skrull. He needed this.
It's like do or die at this point. I mean, we're 3 nights in, and he's got 0 points, so he needs something to get into the game, to get some skin in the game.
Yeah. So both these guys end up tying of 1 and 2.
So it leads us to oh my god! So I got spoiled on this next match, and I kind of already had seen online the outcome of it, but it hadn't obviously been posted on New Japan World yet. And I was telling Jeremy, I was like, bro, something happens on this night on the what is this, the 26th?
Yeah.
I was like,
or 25th.
The 25th. I was like, something happened. You're gonna be shocked. And like Jeremy's like, what could be shocking? Like he couldn't, like he was looking at the matches. He's like, I don't understand. And then here we go. So we get Taguchi and Kushida, and at 1 minute and 40 seconds, Ryosuke Taguchi defeats Kushida with a roll-up.
Yeah, I mean, this was a big surprise. This came out of nowhere. Especially, Kushida, he already had one loss, and Kushida's a guy you expect to be finishing at the top of this block. Taguchi hadn't been doing so well in this tournament thus far. And, we talk about, this serious Taguchi that can really work. I was expecting them to have a long match here, but...
Dude, they had a banger last year.
Yeah.
They were one of the main events, and they had, an epic encounter. And, yeah, I was expecting something else, and the way they started off kind of gave you the feel like it was going to be, a mat-based, classic, a grappling classic, and then...
Taguchi caught him.
Taguchi just cradled him and got the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like a flash pin like that is great in a tournament like this.
Oh, I love it. I loved it.
Just to throw you off, you're expecting all these matches to go 13, 14, 15 minutes, and then...
I liked it for selfish reasons. I started falling behind in this tournament, and I needed to catch up.
Oh my god!
So I mean, thanks New Japan, thanks Geto for throwing me a little bone here. That's a gimme match, Yeah. No, but I agree. From a booking standpoint, you do need something where anything can happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we've seen these guys mix up before. We know what they're capable of. It's not a disappointment. It's oh my god, Taguchi beat Kushida. It's dude, it's the best of Super Juniors. If you didn't know guys could get pinned like this, you're a noob,
Yeah.
We've seen this in the G1. We've seen it with Toru Yano. We've seen it with other guys over the years. This is what happens.
This is what happened in these tournaments, yeah.
It's New Japan. Anyone can beat anybody on any given night. You know what I mean? That happens, especially in a tournament setting when there's no titles on the line, and it can happen.
So then the main event of this night we had, or not the main event, the semi-main, excuse me, we had a Show and Desperado. Once again, Show had a great performance, being on the equal playing field with Desperado, which I think is kind of a big deal here since Desperado just had this banger with Takahashi the night before. And after that, I thought Desperado was going to win this match, but Show once again pulled out the shock arrow and was able to defeat Desperado.
Yeah, Show's been he's been doing really, really well, whether it's from performance standpoint, but picking up another 2 points is a big deal here at this point in the tournament. So I mean, I didn't think this was the greatest match in the world, but it did tell the story basically that Show is on the level of El Desperado, where he's not a young boy anymore, man.
Right.
That's the whole thing there. So I dug it. Real good. Show gets further in the tournament, and that led us to
the main event, Dragon Lee and Takahashi. Man, this was a banger, man.
This is the match that I was saying was my most anticipated match of the tournament, and this did not fail to deliver.
Yeah, dude, I think this is my favorite match of the whole tournament.
I agree. Yeah, I think that this is the best match of the tournament so far.
Yeah, man, you had hard hitting, you had high flying. I mean, both these guys, they don't care about each other's bodies, man. I call this last bump of mania. Pretty much any move these guys took could have been their last bump, man. Last bump.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, for real though. They did some crazy stuff, and I mean, what I appreciate about the Dragon Lee and Hiromu series is this has been going back almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
And we've seen them wrestle countless times, and every time they've done crazier and crazier stuff, and they find a way when they wrestle nowadays to work in some of their greatest hits but still make it feel fresh. It's not just a best of series, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they still make it different, they still make it fresh, and they manage to tell a different story, which I really, really like here.
Yeah, man, if you love high spots, this is the match for you. They did so much stuff, I don't even know,
I liked when Dragon Lee did the LIJ taunt where
Oh yeah, he like kicked the soccer ball.
and he opened up his eyes.
Did his taunt. Yeah, that was great.
That was great. I mean, bro, some of the stuff like Hiromu was doing, like I know we've seen it before, but like the senton from the top rope to the outside.
Yeah, and then Dragon Lee's like Hurricane Rana, like he clears the top rope.
Oh, the time where he acted like he was going to do that, and Hiromu just power
bombed him onto the apron, man.
Which I don't know if you know this, Jeremy, but that's the hardest part.
That could have been his last bump.
I don't know if you know this, but that's the hardest part of the ring. I don't know if that's a little fun fact. I don't know if too many people know about that or not.
And just and to bring the listeners up to speed of our last bump joke. So
I wasn't sure if we were gonna let people in on that joke.
So when Daniel Bryan came back, got cleared, a lot of the Daniel Bryan haters were like, it's ridiculous that he's coming back. Like any match could be his last bump.
They're like it could be, basically he could get injured forever.
Yeah.
And we're listening to someone else. I don't remember.
We're listening to Voices of Wrestling, and they were like, Joe he's like any wrestler could have their last bump. Like any match, like any guy could be healthy and could have their last bump.
Yeah, he was basically saying he's like if a doctor cleared him to do this, they all know what it is.
Right, he's getting cleared to get dropped on his head.
He's like, so that's what he's getting cleared to do. And he's like, and anybody who does this knows that like any match could be their last match. So like after that, like we're hanging out with Rich. What's up, Rich? And Rich was like, anytime someone takes a even slightly like bad bump, he's like, last bump.
Yes. That's been our thing. Like every indie show we go to, we see all like these crazy bumps on the apron. We're like, oh, last bump.
But you know what, bro? It feels kind of like McCabe to be joking that way. Like in the moment, it feels funny, but right now, like saying it, we sound like jerks, bro. Because like you know what, these guys,
it really could be a last
and they
bump.
really do put their bodies on the line, and it's like it'd be terrible to like say last bump, and then it really is someone's like last bump for God forbid.
Right.
But that is where that joke comes from. We're idiots, and like, man, we're marks.
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, man, Dragon Lee and Takahashi, another epic chapter to their rivalry.
What did you think of that Phoenix Plex?
Oh, dude, I love the Phoenix. Dude,
have you ever seen it before?
No.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times. Like, Ibushi used to use that move. He actually won the Best of the Super Juniors tournament against Ricochet one year using that move, and that was the first time I ever saw it. Was on Access TV.
Yeah.
And last year, Dragon Lee used that exact same move to pin Hiromu last year at Best of the Super Juniors. So it's a callback to last year's match. He beat him the exact same way 2 years in a row, which again, long-term storytelling. Like last year, Hiromu was on a tear and he was the top guy in the company, and you would think like an outsider in his first like
it's not
G1, but they tend to like keep these stories from outside companies like CMLL going, because that's been the story. Is like, dude, when did you notice when Dragon Lee came out with the half Dragon Lee, half Kamitachi mask?
I didn't catch that the first time. I had to go back and look at that.
He took it off slowly, held it in front of him, and like Hiromu like wanted to touch it, and he like pulled it away from him. And I was like, that's freaking brilliant.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I got your mask, because that's what happened
in CMLL. Dragon Lee beat
Bro, he took his mask, he took his hair, he took his title, he kicked him out of the freaking promotion. Like,
dang, took that boy running.
Yeah, bro. Like,
and something else I've noticed about Dragon Lee, man, he's over with the Japanese crowd.
Well, he's been on the. He's been coming over for years.
I know he's been coming for a while, for years, but I mean, he's only there for certain tours, but still,
they know him. Well, also, like, I don't know how many people actually subscribe to New Japan World, but, they get the Arena Mexico show.
That's right. Yeah, they get the CMLL feeds.
Which we don't, which is bullcrap. I mean, we can watch it on YouTube, but I won't watch it in HD.
Yeah, I want to watch it. Get the most out of my 999 yen.
999, my 1,000 yen.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So here's my only thing with this. Dragon Lee and Hiromu, to me, and I've always felt this way, I love their matches and I like them a lot. I love them and I like them a lot. But I feel like they just do a lot of stuff.
which I love.
I know you do. And hey, I'm right there with you. Like, I like flips and stuff, but I like it when it means something. And a lot of times I feel like some of the stuff they do doesn't always necessarily. I always feel like they're working super smart. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think with them, man, they just want to kill each other.
I get that, but then at the same time, there's a lot of where like they do stuff and it doesn't mean anything. Like, that's my only thing about it. Like, I think that they do a lot of stuff. Now, they do a lot of stuff better than almost anybody else does it. So I'm not gonna like sit here and be like they suck or bury the guys or anything like that. And obviously, but I mean, you compare, like, let's say this match. This is probably match of the tournament. Compare that to like a Will Ospreay match from this year. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How like he does crazy stuff too, and his like, let's say his match with Hiromu, but a lot of it meant something.
It tells more of a story.
It tells a story. Whereas like this feels like a lot of stuff just being like one after the other, after the other, after the other, and then someone gets killed and then it's over. It's like Rock'em Sock'em Robots. But I feel like Dragon Lee and Hiromu Takahashi, with how talented they are and how good they are and how many great matches they put on, they're capable of something greater than what they've done. That's always been my opinion. I've always felt that way since I started watching their series in 2015. And they've had great matches, and even this one was great. But I am like, I want to see them on a bigger stage with a better match, because I feel like they have a 5-star classic in them, and I've never seen one from them.
To be honest, this would be something I would put on the Cow Palace show.
Yeah, I saw people saying, like, talking about maybe they would do like a special attraction match or something like that. I don't know, but I mean, I would love to see them on a bigger scale. Like, I don't know if, obviously, like, Dragon Lee is a mainstay in CMLL, but I would love to see him come to New Japan and like them fight over the IWGP title. I don't know. Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
But yeah, Dragon Lee beat Hiromu. So
Dragon Lee 3-0 at the end of this night, and he's at the top of the board.
And that takes us to the final night, night 8, which was what, just last night?
Yeah.
Crazy.
The May 27th night. Once again, single cam, no commentary. We had Marty Scurll against Desperado, Chris Sabin versus Dragon Lee, Kushida against Sho, and Takahashi versus Taguchi.
So this was really good. Do you want to know something? I don't want to sit here and like overly criticize the guy because I like him a lot, but I haven't really been too impressed with the matches that Marty's been putting on.
Yeah, this has not been the best display of Marty Scurll. I mean, he's had some great matches since he's been in New Japan, but I mean,
last year's tournament was like he was killing it.
Right, last year. Well, that was his debut in New Japan. But yeah, his overall performance in this tournament has just been okay. He's not been like a highlight or a standout.
Although he's only been in the main event the one night, and the one night he was in the main event, in all fairness, if we're going to be fair,
right,
he killed it.
Right.
The night with him and Hiromu.
Yeah.
But every other night he's been on the undercard, which what have you thought about that? Because I remember looking at the cards thinking it was so weird that they had, I know not everybody can be in the main event, but Marty Scurll being like the opener most of these nights.
Well, that just shows you how stacked this B block is.
But is it that stacked? I mean, is Chris Sabin or, Sho or Dragon Lee or Taguchi that much higher than Marty Scurll in the pecking order in New Japan?
Not really, but those guys aren't really in the main events, though.
But they have been.
Sabin hasn't had a main event
Has
yet.
he not? He's been higher, though.
Yeah.
He's been higher most nights than Scurll, I would say. I've been surprised. Like, most of the nights, Marty's been at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're going off there, but maybe it's one of those things where this year they don't want Marty to be the focus. They have, they're putting some shine on Sho. You got Sabin, kind of rejuvenating his singles career. You got Dragon Lee going on a tear. So there's just not, I guess, the time to focus on Scurll here.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I don't know.
It's definitely interesting. I mean, considering, he just had a banger with Ospreay. When was that? Sakura or...
No, we did. You know what? I listened back to the episode last week. We kept calling What was the last? It was Sakura Genesis. No, what? Not Sakura Genesis.
Wrestling Dantaku.
Dantaku. We kept calling Dantaku Sakura Genesis, which is embarrassing. And then I kept looking to you and being like, "Is that right?" And you were like, "Yeah." Now we both suck.
Oh man.
Oh man.
We still the ace though.
Yeah, we really are. There are so many New Japan podcasts popping up. We see you guys if you're listening.
Yeah.
And we know some of you guys are.
We got our eyes watching the territory. We see who's coming in and out of the territory. And we're just here to let you know we're a mainstay here, okay?
How many weeks have we been in?
This is our 26th episode.
Holy crap.
Consistency.
Yeah,
week
rants.
After week.
Rants. Consistency.
We've been here every week. Missed no shows.
We're on time every single Tuesday.
Delivering bangers.
We have great shows.
And man, the proof just shows.
We go way over our time every single week without fail. We go way over, but it's really good because we have the best content.
And, you know, honestly, like I've always been concerned, like, man, we're going too long. But the longer the episode, the more people, downloads. I mean, weird. You look at the numbers. I mean, our first episode was like only like an hour and a half. Now, lately we've been doing like 2.5, 3 hours.
It'd be interesting to go back and listen. I bet it sucks. It's like such a wonder that people stick around for this show. If you guys are enjoying this, like, God bless you.
Thank you.
We are so happy to have you guys listening. Like, you have no idea. Although we'd probably do this even if we had no listeners. Like, that's how passionate we are.
Yeah, I mean, this idea literally came out of nowhere. Like, it's a night of like watching wrestling and drinking. Like, let's just do a New Japan podcast.
Drinking water.
Yeah. Staying hydrated.
Getting ready to go out for a run.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Speaking of which, I've been so healthy. I went on a run today, drinking water. I made myself fish and broccoli. My God.
Dude, I've been getting jacked, man.
Yeah, you guys, Jeremy, the other night, I was hanging out with a friend of mine.
A friend of the opposite gender.
And we were in our car, and I saw someone like walking up, and I was like, "Who is that dude?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Jeremy." And Jeremy was looking vascular. I was like, "Look at him. He's huge." And then I looked at her, and I was like, "I love it." I really like my Vince McMahon impression.
It's good. It's good.
I try to work it in every week. But no, yeah, thank you guys for listening to this show. Like, we're getting way off subject.
Yeah, let's rein it back in.
Night 8.
So, what was your favorite match on this night?
Hiromu and Taguchi.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay. I thought Hiromu and Taguchi was the best night. This is a night where I was split. My favorite match of the night, personally favorite. And you know what? This was my favorite match of the tournament.
Was
Kushida and Sho, bro.
Yeah.
Kushida and Sho was the wrestling match of the tournament.
Yeah. You want to talk about wrestling, like grappling and holds? This was the match, man.
Which it makes sense because Kushida and Sho both have like MMA backgrounds and amateur wrestling and jiu-jitsu and all that. And they showed it, man. I'm going to tell you, if that match had maybe, I don't know, like a little bit more backstory and some more heat behind it and a better finishing sequence, it could have been like a match of the year type candidate. Like,
oh yeah,
to me, it's one of the best examples of pro wrestling in New Japan this whole year. That's how impressed I was. Yeah. I loved it.
I mean, the grappling was just so like crisp, and everything they did was so, man, it's like watching some stuff from like the 70s that you were showing me, man. Like,
yeah, it did. You know what's funny? So me and Jeremy sat back and I was like, Jeremy, you got to see this Fujinami versus Ryuma Go match. What did you think of that match?
Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah, so that's a high. That's one of my like highly recommended matches. If you guys get a chance one of these days, I actually got the date here. Let me take a look. July 27th, 1978. Tatsumi Fujinami versus Ryuma Go. Awesome match. It's one of the best New Japan matches of the 70s. And, bro, this match reminded me of that match in a lot of ways.
It did, dude. Like, cause like there wasn't a lot of like high spots or high flying. There was just a lot of grapples, fighting for pinfall.
A lot of the same spots.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, dude, this reminded me of Fujinami and Go. Like, this is super cool. I really, 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 really liked Kushida. You liked Chris Sabin and Dragon Lee a lot.
Yes, I did, man. Chris Sabin and Dragon Lee have been two guys that I've really been impressed with in the B block. And I just thought this was a great match. Sabin coming out with his, kind of like power moves, and Dragon Lee doing his lucha style, man. This was just another great match.
Yeah, I thought that was fun. Chris Sabin ended up beating Dragon Lee with the Hail Sabin?
No, just he hit him with the regular cradle shock.
The cradle shock, okay.
Yeah.
And then Kushida ended up beating Sho with a Back to the Future, which is that's the old Tyler Black move.
The God's Last Gift, the small package driver.
I like the Back to the Future as a better name.
Yeah.
It's easier to say.
Yeah.
God's Last Gift. Stupid sounding.
Good old Tyler Black and the Age of the Fall.
But yeah, so Kushida ended up beating Sho, which, dude, they had Sho again on the same level as Kushida. In this match, he came off as being just as good as Kushida, which was awesome. And then that took us to our final match, which was Hiromu Takahashi and Ryosuke Taguchi.
Yeah, I mean, this was like the real first showing of serious Taguchi here.
I like to call him Tournament Taguchi.
Let's call him Tournament, because he's not really serious, because he's still...
I like Tournament Taguchi because he really only really shows up for the most part during the tournaments. And we get Best of Super Juniors Taguchi, and it's freaking awesome. And this was his best match of the tournament so far.
Yeah, and he's not really serious, because he's still doing the hip attacks and, trying to be a clown throughout the match, but he's still, his match quality his in-ring action goes up. One
of the things I like about Taguchi during these types of matches is his wrestling acumen is like, it goes up. He does do the comedy stuff, but he starts working in some of those high-flying, like offensive, like to the outside type moves. Which, Taguchi's smart, man. He works a
very safe style. He's going to be like, Liger and Tiger Mask, one of these old dudes that are wrestling in their 50s.
He's extending his career working a safer style.
Taguchi's going to be like one of those, he's going to be like the grumpy guy, like in his 50s, like still like hitting people with hip attacks and like hit young boys with hip attacks.
But when it's time to go, he can go.
Yeah.
The other thing too is we don't see enough of his ankle lock throughout the year, but he starts working in that. Yeah. He starts working in the Kurt Angle ankle lock spots, which I've always I don't know why, I've always been a mark for that spot where the guys try to get out, they roll, and then they're still in it. Mm-hmm. And they did a ton of that in this match.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I thought Taguchi was going to get a win here.
I did too.
I mean, he only had one win going this far in the tournament. And he's a guy that traditionally does well in these things. So I was expecting him to give Takahashi another loss here. But if you think about it, if Takahashi would have lost, then he would have been 1-3. So...
Yeah, I agree. Some of the thing that I liked was they were telling a story where I don't know why, but Takahashi just kept trying to go for the roll up, like a victory roll up, and Taguchi just kept countering it, and he kept going for the victory roll, and he kept countering it, and like they did it like 5 or 6 times, and I was like, what is happening? Like, why is Takahashi so fixated on winning with this move? And then he kept getting hit with the ankle lock, and it was really, really cool. But eventually, like, Takahashi rolled out, and then they traded cradles, and then Takahashi ended up putting on the triangle choke, which is his like new...
Yes, when he put the triangle choke on, I thought he was gonna win it there.
Well, like,
he did win it from the triangle.
Yeah, he did. Taguchi tried to power up and like do...
That's what I was... Yeah, he powered up, yeah.
He looked like he was gonna do a power bomb, and then he just faded quick. Yeah. And I loved the way he sold it. The way he sold it is almost exactly how it would look in real life if someone really faded in the middle of it. I've seen people in real fights be like that. So the only thing was I thought this was a tad short, even though it went 14 minutes and 30 seconds. It was like it was going, and then for the last like 4 or 5 minutes, it hit this fever pitch pace where it was just nonstop. Like, so many near falls. Yeah,
they just went into like urgency mode. And they were just trying to do whatever they could to get the win.
And then all of a sudden it was just over. Like Taguchi got caught and he got choked out. He went unconscious. Yeah. And like I loved it.
And I just wanted to mention another spot from the Saban and Dragon Lee match. I didn't get to get it in, but there was a spot where Dragon Lee does his jump over the top rope Hurricane Rana. Or no, actually, I'm sorry. Saban goes for jumps over and does a Hurricane Rana from the apron, and Dragon Lee catches him. I thought it was like Dragon Lee had the strength to catch him. That Hurricane Rana, and then Saban finally hit it on the floor.
Did you see when Sho was hitting multiple power bombs?
Yeah.
If we're just gonna go back and talk about guys doing spots from other matches, Sho's awesome.
Yeah, dude. Show Michaels, man.
So that leaves us at the halfway point. So we're 8 nights in,
right?
And there's 14 nights. So we've got 4 matches for each block. We're at the end of B block.
Yeah, let's go over the B block rankings here. So starting from the bottom, we have Taguchi. He's 1-3 with 2 points. Then we have Takahashi, Sho, Kushida, Saban, Desperado, and Skrull, all at 2-2 with 4 points. And then leading the board with a 3-1 record with 6 points is Dragon Lee.
So, when I kind of booked this card or this with my bracket, this is sort of how I saw it going, was that you'd have a bunch of guys sort of with the exact same points leading towards the end. It hasn't worked out exactly the way that I've predicted it. And I am wondering, I'm like, Kushida, are you going to pick it up, or when are you going to pick it up, son? But I don't know. I could have guessed wrong. I don't know if Kushida's the guy that's going, but it is interesting how I kind of thought that a lot of these guys would be sort of equal, and that is how the B block is right now. You've literally got one guy at top, one guy at the bottom, and everyone else in the middle is equal the whole way down.
I kind of want Dragon Lee to win this B block.
I would love for Dragon. I don't even care about the free T-shirt. I don't even care about being right. I want Dragon Lee to win. I want to see. I think my argument about Kushida being a really cool foil for Ishimori could be made more so for Dragon Lee, almost. He's very similar. I think Dragon Lee would be a great guy to go to the finals against Ishimori.
Yeah.
I mean, you think Dragon Lee's the MVP of B block so far, right?
Yeah, man. Every Dragon Lee match I've just been like, man, this guy's just awesome. He hasn't disappointed whatsoever. I mean, all of his matches in this tournament have been, in the 4-star range or higher. Yeah, man, I'm loving Dragon Lee in this tournament.
I agree. I think if you want to talk about a single individual's performances and being impressive, Dragon Lee's are definitely up there. But as far as consistency of having great matches, I don't think you can compare him to Takahashi. Hiromu, for me, is the MVP of this tournament right now in both blocks, because all 4 of his matches have been 4 stars or better, and no one else has done that.
Yeah.
His first match with Marty Scurll, awesome. His match with Desperado, probably the second best match of the tournament. His match with Dragon Lee, probably the best match of the tournament. And then the match he just had with Taguchi, again, 4 stars. He's done nothing but crap out gold the whole tournament.
Yeah.
So for me, it's I see what you're saying, but I gotta defer respectfully and say Takahashi right now is the MVP of not just the B block but the whole tournament.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we still got some more nights left in the tournament.
But let's think about this for a second. Dude, Dragon Lee had an incredible match with Takahashi. Marty Scurll had an awesome match with Takahashi. So did Desperado. Chris Sabin has had awesome matches during this tournament too. What would you say is Chris Sabin's best match so far?
It's probably up in the air between the Sho and Dragon Lee match.
I would say the Sho match.
Yeah.
Although and then Kushida had an incredible match with Sho. Sho and Dragon Lee had. Sho might be the third best guy in this whole. He's had nothing but bangers too. And then obviously we talked about Takahashi, and then Taguchi. Every single person. That's the thing that separates B block. Every person in that whole block has had a great match already.
Yeah.
The whole entire field has had a great match.
Just overall, we mentioned this before, but the match quality overall has just been higher.
In the B block.
Consistently higher in
Consistency.
the B.
Consistency, Rance.
Oh my gosh.
I love Rance. I wonder if he listens to our show or not.
I doubt it.
Hey, if you guys...
Dude, Rance is busy being on like everybody's podcast.
I was going to say, you guys got to check out Rance. He's on the World Class Radio.
Yeah, World Class Radio, their daily morning show over on the Chair Shot Radio Network. He's also here on Social Suplex on the Outsider's Edge. Usually drop their episodes every Friday.
He likes, many times they call him the Contrarian because he has different kind of wrestling opinions than we do. But Rance Morris, he's one of our boys. He's,
This past week, he was on the Ricky and Clive show.
That was a good show.
Ricky was sick, and so it was the Rance and Clive show.
I wish they would have brought me on so I could talk about Japanese or about
UK
British world of sport wrestling from the 70s and 80s. I would have loved that. But yeah, no. If you guys, when you get a chance, check out Rance. He's got several different shows, several different projects, and he's a guy we support. But he always talks about consistency. So anytime we talk about consistency, I gotta say it, Rance. Consistency.
All right. So, any final thoughts on these nights here, Best of Super Juniors?
I don't know. Let's talk about predictions. So we've got the A block and the B block in front of us, and I mean, your tournament leaders are Flip Gordon in the A block and Dragon Lee in the B block, and I didn't expect that really. I mean, that's what I love about Best of Super Juniors.
Yeah, very unpredictable.
But we're only halfway through. It's just a little bit over halfway, honestly. Right. We've got 6 more like tournament nights. I mean, not even.
No, we got what? 5 more?
5 more, but on the 13th night is when they're going to do both of them together.
Yeah.
So technically speaking, we've got
4 nights?
3 more tournament matches for each guy going forward. So altogether, basically, essentially 6, not nights because they're going to do it in 5 nights, but 6 nights essentially.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah, predictions. I mean, in the A block, I think Tiger Mask and Flip are going to start eating some L's going forward. I see Ishimori and Osprey rising quickly to the top.
Yeah, I expect Ishimori and Osprey to go on a run for the rest of the tournament. If they eat more losses, I'd be very surprised.
Same here. B block, I expect. I think Takahashi and Kushida might start going on a run. We might see the end of Dragon Lee's run.
I think Taguchi is going to get some more wins. I cannot imagine him being at 1-3. I know he started off with a bad start, but I expect him to move forward and do well.
Pick up the pace.
Yeah. Dragon Lee, I'm assuming, is probably going to start eating some losses too. Yeah. He's still got, I think he's wrestling Kushida on the final night.
I think so.
So I think Kushida will start to etch up on him, and no. The final night is Kushida and Takahashi.
Gotcha.
So I think Kushida needs to beat Dragon Lee here in the next few nights. So I'm looking forward to that. Bro, Kushida's got a couple really great matches still ahead of him. He's got the Dragon Lee match and the Takahashi match.
Dude.
Both of those are going to be freaking awesome. Oh, speaking of which, night 13, when we're getting nothing but tournament matches the whole night for the A block and B block, that's going to be a show of the year candidate for sure.
That's going to be on June 3rd.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so you got...
When is Dominion?
June 9th.
Oh, my God. This is crazy.
Yeah, so this is the final night, or the semifinal night. You got Tiger Mask against ACH, Flip Gordon versus Will Ospreay, Yo versus Ishimori, Bushi versus Kanemaru, Kushida versus Takahashi, Taguchi versus Sabin, Dragon Lee versus Desperado, and Sho versus Marty Scurll in the main event.
So next week we will be covering nights 9 through 13.
Yeah.
And then the next week we're going to do an All-Star Extravaganza episode covering both the Best of Super Junior finals as well as Dominion.
Yeah.
Which is just going to be crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm just... I still have it booked in my scenario. I still see Kushida and Ishimori going to the finals. Mm-hmm. I really can't see anybody other than Ishimori going into the finals and winning this thing still. That's just me, which he's been very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, he's been very great in his new role as a Bone Soldier, as a heel. Just the way he carries himself. His facial expressions have been great.
He is small, though.
He is, but man...
Like I had someone else watching this with me, and she was like, "He's small." And I was like, he's supposed to be. Shut up.
The thing, like the whole size thing, like he's been very vicious though.
Yeah.
And
dude, I love when he does that thing where he has the guy in the second rope.
in the sliding German.
He does the sliding German to the outside. I love it. Yeah. I'm getting... Ishimori's getting over with me, man.
Yeah, same here.
And I think he's got some great matches still ahead of him. Yeah, like I don't know why, but A Block to me just looks like it's already wrapped up. I'm like, I can see it already. I'm like, Ishimori's gonna win this thing. And then B Block is like all up in the air still. I'm like, it could be anybody.
Well, yeah, B Block could literally be anybody.
And I could be wrong. I mean, who knows? ACH might go to the finals, or Will Ospreay. I could be totally wrong.
Right.
But it just seems to me, painting the picture, like Ishimori's going to the finals, and I have no clue who he's going to wrestle in the finals from B Block.
Right.
That's just my take. I don't mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I've been strong since the beginning of Ishimori going into the finals, and yeah, he's been one of my favorites to go into the finals, and I definitely see Ishimori. Possibly Will Ospreay is possibly the only other guy that I could see going into the finals at this point, since Ishimori beat Ospreay. If Ishimori doesn't win the tournament, he still has a claim at a title shot at some point in the future. Especially if they're going to do Ospreay versus Mysterio at Dominion, that could be a way to do that, with having Ospreay winning the tournament. But I still think it's going to be Ishimori. But like you said, in the B Block, I have no idea who he's going to go against.
If we are in fact getting Ishimori in the finals, taking your brackets aside, who would you, just as a fan, who would you like to see him wrestle the most?
Honestly, I think I want to see him wrestle Dragon Lee.
I definitely can get on board with that. I think for me, I still kind of am like, I want to see him wrestle Kushida. I kind of want to see him wrestle Takahashi.
Yeah, that was my original.
That was my original too.
Prediction.
I'm kind of like, I want to see him wrestle Sho though.
Dude, could you imagine if Sho pulled it out?
Like if Sho made it to the finals?
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. I mean,
talking about making a guy.
Yeah, you could really make a guy. So, any final thoughts? We still got a long way to go. This has been awesome, bro.
Yeah.
It's felt like a G1, and it hasn't been that hard to get through, considering we haven't, like with G1, we do get a lot of full production shows, so that's pretty tough to get through.
I remember last summer was my first time watching every single night of G1, and man,
this has been like cake, in a way. Even though it's been difficult, we got through the freaking...
And, having the Memorial Day weekend, helped also.
Yeah.
Dude, I've watched a lot of wrestling this weekend.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you have. The only hard part about it is, differentiating what happened, because you're seeing so many of the same guys.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again, and, honestly, only this, to me, the stuff that's sticking out is the stuff that really does stick out, the great matches. Not to say any of it's, I recommend watching the whole thing just to follow along for the story. What else are you going to do? Why not just watch it? But, at the same time, I'm not going to necessarily remember Chris Sabin against, Kushida that much,
right,
a year from now.
Right.
But I am going to remember this Dragon Lee and Takahashi match.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So, but I've really enjoyed the tournament.
Yeah, the tournament has been great so far. All right, you ready to move into news?
Yeah. So, different things, and some stuff we'll spend more time on, and some stuff we'll just kind of breeze through. So, Flip and Brand. So basically, it was the Cody's Golden Ticket promotion. Basically, they've got a Wrestle Pro show coming up on June 8th, which is coming up very shortly. And the deal was basically that if Flip Gordon could beat there's two wrestlers, if he could defeat them with a partner of his choosing, then he would be all in. And this is supposed to be, quote unquote, his last chance to get in. Mm-hmm. Well, the two wrestlers that we already announced this, but he's wrestling MJF, who, by the way, if you haven't seen this guy's work,
MJF is just great, man.
If you don't know him, he's the current CZW World Champion. He's a featured talent on MLW, and I mean, what I've seen from him, he's great.
Yeah, promos are great.
His promos are awesome. But him and Madison Rayne will be taking on Flip, and then we found out Flip's special partner, his tag team partner, is going to be Brandy Rhodes.
Yeah, they're called the Friend Zone.
Team Friend Zone.
Yeah.
Team Friend Zone. So good luck to Flip and Brandy. And
well, Brandy's not going to even be, she's not cleared.
I don't know.
She's going to be sitting at ringside.
I thought she was his tag team partner.
She is, but she's trying to get cleared. But she said if she can't get cleared, that she
broke her clavicle.
She would support him at ringside.
Yeah, so we already covered that also last week. She broke her clavicle over in Stardom. Speaking of Stardom, this isn't even on the news. Like, have you heard about Io Shirai?
Yeah, she's WWE bound. Mae Young
Allegedly.
Classic. Allegedly.
They didn't clear her last year, and she was supposed to be WWE bound. But what do you think of that?
I mean, it just goes to show you the WWE is just trying to bring in as much talent as they possibly can.
I mean, Io Shirai is the best woman in the world. She has been for a couple years now, and like most people don't even know about her.
And I think this is all Triple H. I mean, he's been one of the key guys that are him and his team have been. They pretty much scout the world and try to bring in all these top males and females. And I think if she does officially sign, she's going to win the Mae Young Classic.
Bro, they brought in Toni Storm and Io Shirai. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, Toni Storm. She's all over the WWE UK commercials.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What, is that on the network?
Yeah.
See, I don't watch that crap. But yeah, so anyways, good luck to Flip and Brandy, and good luck to Io. I hope she gets cleared, and I hope she makes a lot of money, and then I hope she leaves and starts something that's better than WWE and kills them. Because she's like, literally, guys, I'll say this like on the record, she's the greatest woman talent I've ever watched live.
Yeah,
I've never seen anyone as good.
She's amazing.
We have news about there's an upcoming match, CMLL related. Roosh and LA Park are going to be wrestling in a hair versus mask match at the 85th anniversary for CMLL in September, which understandably, a lot of you guys probably don't watch CMLL. I'm not going to say I'm an avid fan, but I do understand the significance here, because every year it seems like I'm watching a Roosh and LA Park match, just because they end up being like always like one of the best matches of the year. And this feud's been going on between Roosh and LA Park for almost like 4 years now. It's been one of the most heated rivalries in like Lucha Libre, whether it be storyline versus real life. Like, these guys have had a lot of heat with one another. And LA Park actually got fired back in 2015 from CMLL. So he hasn't been wrestling in Arena Mexico, and he recently made his return and saved his nephews from an attack from Roosh and the original Los Ingobernables.
Right.
And he challenged Roosh to a hair versus mask match.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a big deal. I mean,
big deal.
LA Park, La Parka, however you know him, like, his whole thing, his whole gimmick is the mask. Like, there are some guys that can continue on without the mask, but like, I can't see LA Park. Like, if he loses, he has to retire.
There's some guys that if they lose their mask, that's everything. Like, obviously the mask is important to everybody, but there's certain guys who, what are you going to do after you lose your mask? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, what are you? We've watched you for how many years? Like, it'd be like if Atlantis lost his mask. What is Atlantis with him? But I don't think anyone's more so that way than La Parka.
Yeah.
La Parka, like, is La Parka. You don't watch La Parka without his mask? Like, that's the craziest idea I've ever heard of.
Yeah, it's just weird.
So, I think Roosh is getting his head shaved.
Hey, man, that beautiful lock of hair.
Beautiful locks, bro. But I think he could pull off a shaved head.
Yeah.
And in Mexico, they shave their heads.
Yeah.
They don't show up like Jeff Jarrett with a crew cut like a week later. Like, they get their head shaved, so it's a big deal. But this match, we're gonna watch it. It's happening in September. The 85th anniversary is CMLL's WrestleMania. It's their biggest annual show, and this is one of the biggest matches that they've had in years. I mean, we're talking probably going back to like 2015 when Atlantis and La Sombra, which is now Cien and Andrade Almas wrestled in a mass versus mass match. Like, this is probably the biggest match they've booked for this card, and they think it's gonna be one of the all-time like drawing cards that they've ever had. So it's a huge deal. In other news, so Dad is a Heel Wrestler is an upcoming movie that Hiroshi Tanahashi is going to be starring on.
We've talked about it several times. In the news and previous shows.
Well, the official like trailer is out now, and it looks awesome. Did you watch the trailer?
I did see that, and there's a couple other New Japan guys in there. I mean, Okada seems to be like the main baby face that Tanahashi's facing.
I even saw them mention like the G1 Climax when they were like with the commentary. I was like, so they're clearly wrestling in a New Japan ring, so I think like there is some New Japan involvement with this. I mean, we don't speak like Japanese or like read Weekly Pro or anything or Tokyo Sports, so it's kind of difficult for us. But I'm gonna watch this movie when it comes out.
Yeah,
and there's gonna be a second one as well, so that's why Tanahashi still hasn't like regrown his hair out.
Right.
So looking forward to it. But if you get a chance, it's on YouTube. Dad is a Heel Wrestler. You want to really check that out. Tanahashi will be starring as a heel.
Yeah, the cockroach. Yeah.
Which they actually have cockroach t-shirts, which actually look pretty dope. Like, I'm like, I kind of want one of those cockroach t-shirts. On May 19th, Kevin Kelly tweeted about Katsuya Kitamura. So I told you guys we're going to keep up with this story. And some fans asked him about what's going on with Katsuya Kitamura. And he said that he has ongoing neurological issues that are concussion related. And once he gets the clearance, he will be back in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
You know, this whole Kitamura thing, it's been weird. Like, it's gone like back and forth between like he's injured, there's been disciplinary issues, like there hasn't been like a consistent report, and like now it seems like we're leading towards the, he's had a serious concussion, and he'll be back as soon as he's healed. So yeah, it's just interesting that the story kind of flip flops, and now we're sticking with the whole injury angle.
Are you serious? Are you calling Kevin Kelly a liar?
Dude, I'm not calling Kevin Kelly a liar.
It sounds like you're calling Kevin Kelly.
I'm just saying.
Kevin Kelly is our friend. Kevin Kelly is going to shout us out on NJPW one day if we just keep growing this thing. One of these days.
Yeah.
Kevin, if you're listening, just remember, it was not the young boy Joshua Smith that said these inflammatory remarks about you. It was Jeremy Donovan. No, I'm just playing. No, you're absolutely right. It is hard to get like a straight answer on what's going on, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, so in other news, so Ring of Honor is running their Honor United tour. I know that you caught a few matches, and you were watching the...
Yeah, I caught a few matches from night one of that.
How many nights are they going? 3 nights?
I know that there's like 3 nights uploaded on Honor Club. I'm not exactly sure if that's it or if there's more to the tour.
I know they're in Edinburgh and London, and I wasn't sure where else.
Yeah.
But, so part of the Honor United tour, which I gotta be honest with you guys, we're not gonna give you a rundown of that show, but or of any of those shows. And maybe we should talk about that for a moment. Like, what's going on with Ring of Honor and New Japan? Do you think they're utilizing these guys right?
I don't think so. I mean,
I definitely don't think so.
They're bringing in guys like Tanahashi and, a lot of the LIJ members, and like
they're doing crap with
they're
them.
sticking Tanahashi in like 6-man tags, and it's like, just
why? Why have him there?
Like Tanahashi's coming, he's just mailing it in. But you know why? And I think I don't know if I mentioned this.
You said it last week.
Yeah,
you can say it again because I love it.
Yeah, I mean, these fans, these Ring of Honor fans, pretty much, if you've never seen...
Why are you blasting the fans?
Oh man, I'm not trying to blast a fan, because I did the same thing WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah,
I've never seen Tanahashi live. I've never seen Ishii, Suzuki. I've never seen any of those New Japan guys live. So I made sure for first priority were to buy tickets to all these shows that these guys were performing, and that was my key deciding factor to go to Takeover. I mean, go to Supercard of Honor over Takeover, was to see these guys, Ibushi and all these guys. So these Ring of Honor fans, what they're doing, I mean, might not all get to see these guys in these tournaments. So whenever these New Japan guys come, it's a big deal to Ring of Honor fans. So they're going to sell out these shows regardless of the match quality or the booking of the shows.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. So Ring of Honor, actually, they just did the War of the Worlds tour earlier this month, and over the course of 4 different shows, they did 6,000 attendance cumulatively, which is the most attended they've ever had for that tour. And it has a lot to do with the fact that they're booking, obviously, the New Japan talent. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I agree with you. I don't think they're using them right.
Right.
Because it doesn't feel special anymore. Like, I already have a New Japan Pro Wrestling, or a New Japan World subscription. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing these guys a lot throughout the year, and I'm seeing them in matches that matter. So, it's not like in a time where I can't watch New Japan and all I have is Ring of Honor and I'm just a Ring of Honor fan and, oh, thank God Tanahashi's here. It's like, it's not like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, it is cool that there's a crossover, but if you're going to bring Tanahashi over, do something with him. You know what I mean? If you're going to bring LIJ over, do something with those guys. You know what I mean? Like, they had Evil against Dalton Castle in a world title match. Like, that doesn't scream world title match to me.
Right. I mean, Dalton Castle's whole world title run has been great in general.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. The Honor United tour, like, I was looking at it, was not impressed. Hopefully the tour, what is it called? Strong Style Evolve tour that New Japan is running later.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Maybe that ends up being better. I would assume so because they're running it with RevPro, and RevPro has excellent talent. But that's not a dig at Ring of Honor guys. I don't know. Like, it's like they've just had to rebuild and like they just keep losing talent, and like what's going to happen if they lose these Ring of Honor guys or not?
They lose the Bullet Club guys. Yes, I mean Bullet Club, they are the top stars in Ring of Honor. Mm-hmm. Like, all those guys get the biggest pops, the biggest reaction. They're selling the most merch. People come to Ring of Honor shows to see the Young Bucks, Cody, Hangman Page, Marty Scurll. I mean, these are the top stars in the promotion. So if they lose those guys, I mean,
I think they're afraid. I think they're afraid to lose them, and there's a lot of scenarios that could play out where that does eventually end up happening.
Yeah.
I mean, they almost already lost them last time. It was very close.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but speaking of the Honor United tour, so Nick Aldis, who is the NWA champion, made his Ring of Honor debut. Essentially, he was at ringside during the show that we were at, and what was that show? Supercard of Honor.
Yeah.
But he actually, he wrestled on these shows.
Yeah, he was in a tag match with Mark Haskins against the Young Bucks.
Well, he came out on Twitter and basically said that he would be addressing Cody and the All In event during the London show with Ring of Honor United. And if you guys are on, YouTube, they have the 10 Pounds of Gold weekly show. I think Billy Corgan and company, they're trying to really rebuild.
Dave Lagana,
yeah. They're trying to rebuild the NWA brand and, add some prestige to that title and make it relevant once again. So they do a weekly show, and Nick Aldis, obviously, as the champion, is like one of the featured things, and he talked about how he was going to the episode's called Pressure Mounts, and that it kind of covered the fallout from the All In event and the announcement that Cody would be challenging for the NWA title, and how Nick Aldis was gonna kind of handle that. So he ended up coming out during the London show and basically saying that he would agree to wrestle Cody on the one condition that if Cody is to challenge him for his title, Cody has to first win the Ring of Honor World Championship and then make it a champion versus champion match where the winner takes everything.
Yeah, so it's pretty much, it's pretty much Cody's going to win the Ring of Honor title, what it looks like.
I would assume so. They just announced that Cody versus Dalton Castle versus Marty Scurll is going to be the main event. Best of the World.
Best of the World.
What Best in the World's like, that's their biggest show of the year, pretty much?
Their second. Their biggest show is usually Final Battle in December.
Which always has been weird to me because Supercard is clearly their biggest card every year.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's at WrestleMania weekend, but technically speaking, I guess Best in the World and then Final Battle
yeah,
are their two big shows. But you know, we kind of thought Skrull was going to be the guy to get the title shot. They made him the number one contender and all that, but then they've been teasing all this dissension
between Cody and Marty, and plus Cody hadn't used his rematch clause yet, so it's gonna be interesting. I mean, I would have preferred Marty to win, but it looks like for this whole all-in storyline that Cody has to win, so that it's Cody against Nick Aldis, which I'm not
a fan of it.
Yeah,
I gotta tell you, I'm not a fan of it at all. I really like my theory that Nick Aldis drops the belt to Flip Gordon, and then we get the grudge match between Flip and Cody, which, I don't know, that just seems like it makes a lot more sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, it would take Billy Corgan and the NWA like sanctioning that match and kind of like saying, yes, we'll put over Flip, and yes, we'll put over Cody back to back. Which I don't know if they want to do that, but I don't know. To me, that's like Flip Gordon might be like kind of in his infancy in his wrestling career, but like, and yes, he's not Nick Aldis as far as like longevity, but he's a lot more relevant right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's been a long time since also, Magnus was a guy.
Yeah, and even one Magnus was a guy. Magnus has never blown me away. Like, the stuff I saw on TNA was fine.
Where's Doug Williams?
Bro, he was on this Honor United. He got a TV title shot against
oh, really?
Against Last Real Man, Silas Young.
Was that good?
I didn't catch that match.
Doug Williams is great.
Yeah.
That's who needs to be the NWA champion.
Yes. Yes. Doug Williams is a man.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, I'm not a fan of this. I kind of thought, when they said that whoever the champion was, that's who Cody would wrestle, was a way for them to kind of circumnavigate having to be like, oh, it's Nick Aldis versus Cody. But now that they're putting stock into it, now that he's cutting promos, now that they're cutting promos against one another, it can't. Like, we talked about it, and you said you were like, well, it could maybe they don't wrestle each other.
Yeah, it could be a swerve. Maybe Aldis loses the belt, and then
Cody ends up challenging whoever. And I was like, but why are they doing this right now?
Right.
Why are they putting money into a match that they're not going to end up delivering on? Clearly, they plan to deliver on this match.
Yeah. So.
And you were like, what if Skrull wins the ROH title and then someone else wins the NWA title? And I was like, they're doing this match.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is that disappointing?
Kind of.
Since we're going to be going there?
Going all it. Like, that's not, like, I would not, if I was trying to book, like, a super card, I would not book Cody and Nick Aldis as a match.
Title versus title matches historically have not, like, been great.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been a few matches that have been good in ring, but like ultimately speaking, when you have two different like champions from two different companies, usually it ends in a DQ or a double count out. That's just it's usually a dusty finish. Do you think we're gonna see a dusty finish at All In? The modern day Starrcade?
It all depends. I mean, if it's the main event of the show, I could see Cody winning. But if it's in the middle of the card, I could see some kind of screwy finish.
I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel about this. I don't feel good about it, though. Yeah. I'll tell you that. Like, they already got our money. They already sold out, so whatever. They can do whatever they want.
Right.
But, I mean, I don't know. I was really hyped with the idea of Cody going against the NWA champion, but not Nick Aldis.
Yeah.
Like, Nick Aldis... When we're talking about guys, we're like, hey, who could be wrestler of the year? Like, Cody's in that discussion. If he has a great second half of the year, like, he could be the guy. What has Nick Aldis done this year? I have no clue. Like, the
random title defenses on indie shows. He's faced James Ellsworth.
No, it's cool. Yeah. I think what they're doing is great. They're doing some great stuff. I'm not like knocking what they're doing. It's just like, I don't know how to watch the NWA.
Right. I mean,
there is not a way for me to watch it.
It's not a promotion.
Yeah, no.
It's literally just Nick Aldis.
So I don't know how to be invested in him as a character or as a worker in any way.
Yeah.
Point blank. Like, what am I going to watch? And like Pro Wrestling from Hollywood? Is that NWA from Hollywood? Like, they're not even with them anymore, are they?
No, I don't think so. Like, literally, I think it's literally just Nick. Like Dave Lagana.
Like, their champion was Tim Storm before this happened. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
I never even heard of Tim Storm. Like, until this whole Billy Corgan brought this NWA project back.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Yeah. Some other news from All In, though. So the Cow Palace. So recently, the Young Bucks were talking about this. I don't know who they were with, but I was reading about it, and they said that the original date for All In was going to be July 7th at the Cow Palace, which that's the date for Strong Style Evolved, or for the G1 special, isn't it?
Is it July 7th or the 14th?
I can't remember, but it's really, really close to it. But they ended up saying that they changed it due to the fact that, New Japan was going to be running...
The Cow Palace.
No, that New Japan was going to be running... this is before all that. This is like early on when they're like, oh, they're going to be running Walter Pyramid earlier in the year. We don't really want to draw from that. Plus, like, it might hurt what we're doing. So they ended up not doing that date. But that was going to be All In. July 7th in the Cow Palace. Oh, and they had some issues, I think, also with PWG and Bola, which was another reason. So I thought that was really, really interesting. In other news with All In, Cody Rhodes was recently talking about doing a all-out battle royal.
On the pre-show or something?
On a pre-show in the parking lot where basically the guys that are not booked for All In are all out.
Yeah.
And they have to wrestle in a battle royal in the parking lot. And I think it was on the Edge and Christian show. I don't know.
No, that
was that on the Wrestling Observer?
It was. I don't remember. I know. I saw him tweet. I saw him tweet about it. He might have mentioned it on the Edge and Christian podcast.
He essentially said that afterwards, he's like, I don't know if we're gonna do that, but since I've already mentioned it publicly, we're probably gonna have to. Basically,
yeah.
So that's something that's rumored. Aside from that, too, there's been a lot of talks about the idea: will All In be streamed? And we don't know yet. What are your thoughts about? Obviously, like the big issue is.
You have a lot of guys
from different companies.
Will Ring of Honor want Jay Lethal being streamed? Will CMLL want or Triple whoever or the Crash? Would they want Pentagon and Phoenix being streamed?
You got guys from Ring of Honor. You got guys from Impact, New Japan.
Yeah, CMLL. Harold may
Impact
want Okada and Omega being streamed.
We don't know.
Yeah, well,
we don't know.
Impact guys, Don Callis and Scott D'Amore. Well, so
it just seems like an event like this is too important to not stream it, and there's so much money to be made from all parties involved.
Yeah,
how could you not make this accessible to people on the outside? So I'm still very optimistic that they're gonna do.
Yeah, I think they'll give all these outside companies a little taste of
a little bit of sugar.
Yeah. I mean, they do a stream and they price it reasonably. They're gonna make a ton, dude. They already sold out on tickets. They're gonna make a ton of money on streaming, ton of money on merch, dude. So they're gonna make tons of cash here. They can give Ring of Honor a little cut, give New Japan a little cut, Impact a little cut, and they'll still walk away with a ton of money.
Well, Cody has said that they've got meetings coming up with different distributors, so they have ideas for how to do this. They don't know if they're going to get the clearance or not, so there is a chance that if you're not all in, you will not be able to see this event, which is so 80s.
Right, yeah.
It's what are they going to do? Release this on VHS home box office set? You're going to have to... Bro, my whole childhood is watching VHSs of pro wrestling, and the only way you can see this is if you buy the tape. That's what this feels like a little bit.
I mean, I guess the backup option if the streaming doesn't work is do DVD, do PWG style, do DVD.
I guess
that's the reason why PWG doesn't do streaming. They don't want to mess with all the TV deal stuff, so
yeah,
they just do DVDs.
We'll see. But we got other news. So right now, speaking of big shows, so we've got the G1 special in the USA, which is coming up shortly after Dominion, and there's been a lot of talk about the ticket sales with that event and how All In might have affected it and all the different things. We kind of went in depth, but as of the time of this recording, right now they're about halfway full. So they've sold about half of the tickets. It's a 10,000 seat arena. But the big news that is coming up is that Access, which I'm sure we all probably guessed this because they did it last year, but Access will be airing the G1 special in the USA live on Access Television.
With JR and Josh Barnett doing the commentary.
Yeah, Jim Ross and Josh Barnett are confirmed as the official, so we will not be getting Don Callis or Kevin Kelly. And
shame.
We don't need to write petitions this time, or like, it's not going to happen, guys.
Yeah.
Like, we just need to make peace with it.
But yeah, and you know, the thing with this whole G1 special is that there's been no advertising for it. There's been no TV, no radio, no digital, no nothing. So for them to have 5,000 tickets right now, I think it's still pretty good. I think after Dominion, they're gonna start announcing the card. They're gonna ramp up the advertising, and I think.
Well, there's a rumor. There's been a rumor for a while that they have some sort of big name planned for this show. Mm-hmm. I don't know who that is, but like Dave Meltzer and them have mentioned it several times. Like they're planning a big name to boost ticket sales. I have no idea. The only thing that comes to mind is like maybe Jericho.
Right.
But I'm like, will Jericho work in the U.S. and for a company that's not WWE? I kind of don't think he will. I mean, it could be Mysterio, but which I'm assuming Mysterio's gonna be on the card, but that's not who I'm thinking is gonna be the big name. Yeah. I'm like, who are they bringing in?
I don't know.
Punk.
Hey man, never say never.
Speaking of which, so CM Punk has a fight coming up on June 9th against Mike Jackson in the UFC, but and also recently it looks like they might be settling. Are they going to settle or are they going to court?
They're going to court.
Oh, they are going to court. That's right.
Finally.
So yeah, him and WWE are going to court. He must feel really confident that he's going to win this thing if he wants to move forward and not settle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the deal is there, but CM Punk, the rumor that like just recently broke out was that he was at the All In presser allegedly. Like we don't have anyone to like confirm this, but that's what the word on the street is that during the press conference that they ran for All In at ProWrestlingTees.com.
Yeah, I think
he was backstage.
The girl who was like hosting it like tweeted out something about him.
Which like it does make sense because he's friends with those guys. He's gonna be involved with a meet and greet at Pro Wrestling Tees during the event. But the fact that he was backstage, I didn't see pictures. I know several different like publications were there. They didn't like say that they saw him or anything, so I don't know. But like I'm just like, it just keeps feeling more and more. I'm like, is CM Punk gonna be All In? Are we going to see him at the event in some capacity?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he, in the middle of the show, we hear Cult of Personality.
I don't even know if he's allowed to use that music. I mean, I know it's Living Color, so I know it's not like WWE owned, but I don't know if they'll probably have to pay a lot of money to get it. I know WWE had to pay a bunch of money to get that music originally.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But anyway, so other news. So the Young Bucks have a children's book coming out, which they recently showed some of the artwork for online.
Right, yeah, they were doing voting on the color schemes of the characters.
Which I guess they're going to be the characters in the children's book. So Bullet Club is just a merchandising empire.
Put yourself over in the children's book. Why not, pal?
Also, Chris Jericho has a new Sirius XM radio show called The Rock of Jericho. I don't think it's wrestling related at all. I think it's like music related, but good for him. He's got a lot going on.
Dude, I would love a little taste of that man's paycheck, man.
How about Ren Narita is out with a concussion until June 2nd at least?
Yeah, and
that's like how many of the young lions are injured right now?
Yeah, they're dropping like flies.
Kitamura, Yagi, Narita. Anyone else I'm missing?
I think that's it.
That's 3.
Yeah.
It's a lot, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on either. Maybe they're being a little bit more like aware, like the whole concussion thing's they're more aware of it now. Like I'm sure in the past dudes have suffered concussions and are like put an ice pack on and get back out there the next day.
I mean, Narita is, from what we've read, it's concussion related. Same thing with Kitamura. It wasn't with Yagi. He broke his forearm, but I mean, I don't know. It's like, is the style too rough? You know what I mean? Like, obviously strong style is strong style, but I'm like, I don't know. Like, it just seems like, man, they only have so many like young lions, like, and these guys are getting hurt.
Yeah.
So I don't know. maybe, I don't know. We don't really know what happened here, so it's hard to say if it was anyone in particular's fault. But I mean, it's pro wrestling. That's what you sign up for when you decide to do
But
this.
with those guys going down, that gives guys like Tsuji and Umura a chance to shine. I mean,
Which they have been.
Yeah, I think it was Tsuji that replaced Narita in one of the tag matches last.
I like Umura so much better than Tsuji.
Yeah.
A lot of people like Tsuji. I get why, but I like Umura better.
Yeah.
I don't know. In other news, so last week, Harold Mai, we still don't know how to say it.
I think it's Mai.
Harold Mai was named so we already knew he was going to be the CEO of New Japan, but he was officially named the president and CEO of New Japan, and he is officially on the board of directors of Bushiroad Incorporated. So big news. I mean, we've kind of talked about like the fact that a foreigner is in control in New Japan is like crazy, but like, dude, when you used to go online and look up like, because the president was Takaki Kidani, and then he stepped down. He's still over Bushiroad, which is the controlling party, you know. But like there was like a whole committee of guys. Like this guy was this guy was that, yada yada. There's like 3 or 4 different dudes. Now when you go online and you look up who are like the people of interest, it's like Kidani, who's the president of Bushiroad, and then Harold Mai. Those are the only 2 names listed. It's like, what is happening?
Yeah, a lot of shake up there in the New Japan offices, and man,
I don't know if it's gonna I don't know if it's good or bad, to be honest with you. I have no way of knowing.
All I gotta say, let's hope that they don't try to jump the gun.
No,
with their moves, like
try to expand too quickly or do too much.
Yeah.
Well, it's business, man. You gotta take gambles. I don't know. But I want New Japan to be well and thriving and around for a while so we can keep doing this until someone pays us to do it, so we can get filthy rich and be like Dave Meltzer.
Dude, that's my dream, to get paid to talk and write about wrestling, man.
To watch wrestling?
Yeah.
Get paid to be a professional wrestling fan?
This past weekend.
Professional wrestling fan?
Yeah, all the hours of wrestling I watched this weekend. Like, I wish I was getting paid for that.
Oh my God. So, other news. So, Japan Airlines, which now offers domestic Wi-Fi, by the way, has announced that they are going to be showing New Japan Pro Wrestling Classic matches for free, along with their in-service flights, starting on May 18th. So, you know, if you're in Japan and you're flying with Japan Airlines, you might be able to see like some Riki Choshu and Tatsumi Fujinami action. That's actually the 2 guys I saw in the picture.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh cool. I actually read online. Someone was like, yeah, I saw this really good Tiger Mask versus like who was it? It was like Kenta Kimura or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. It's pretty cool. But yeah, Japan Airlines repping the classic New Japan, which is pretty cool. Best of the Super Juniors nights May 26th and May 27th were produced and had full production shows via Samurai TV, which will be airing on June 2nd. So we got the single cam shows like we talked about, but it seems like they're getting full production shows. So I bet you eventually those shows, if you want to watch them with full production later on, they'll probably be on New Japan World, which is really cool. Other news, there's video game related news, which New Japan's had a lot of video game related news recently, which makes like the CEO crossover that we're going to kind of more relevant. But Tekken 7 is going to have New Japan free New Japan content that will be coming out with their downloadable content starting on May 31st. So I think there's like alternate skins for different characters. They'll be like New Japan like based and themed, which is cool. Also, Street Fighter V just had a commercial with Kenny Omega and also Xavier Woods.
Yeah, Kenny Omega was playing the character Cody, which is actually his favorite Street Fighter character.
Yep.
In the commercial, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So I mean, that's his favorite video game. I think like he's like world class at it or whatever.
Yeah, he's like one of the top players like in the world.
So
and like him and Xavier Woods are always going at it.
I liked that he was the character Cody, I guess he's the mayor
Yeah.
of Liberty City or whatever I don't know what city is, but he was dressed up like Mike Hagar, which I love Mike Hagar from like one of my favorite wrestling video games is it's actually a Capcom game. It's called Saturday Night Slam Masters, and Mike Hagar is a playable character who he was the mayor as well, and in that game he freaking rules. So he's a pro wrestler as well, which is, I love the crossover with pro wrestling. And actually Tekken has King.
Yeah, the
Which I love King.
That's the character that has the cheetah mask, right?
Yep, and
I've heard that back in the early days that Suzuki did the motion capture
that's
for a
cool.
lot of his moves.
Yeah, I love King, and then Victor Zangief is one of my favorite like wrestling characters from
Street Fighter. Yeah, I always play as Zangief because he has like the multiple Germans. He has like the pile driver thing where he jumps in the air and like spins around like pile drives them.
I always play as, I think his name is Dalism,
The Indian dude.
Indian dude with the long arms, and it's just because I'm cheap. I like to hit people from far away. So
the Yoda fire.
But yes, that's cool. So some crossover there. Couple different things. So did you see this news with speaking of Kenny Omega? You see the deal with him and Jim Cornette?
So I saw a little bit of that. Well, the main thing I saw was somebody shared a tweet of Kenny Omega or Kota Ibushi doing the multiple destroyed by the blow up doll from DDT 10 years ago,
Which I hate.
Somebody tagged Cornette, and Cornette went off. He was like, "This is Kota Ibushi, like the greatest that people keep telling me about."
Dude,
like,
what a troll! Like whoever these people are, like guys, just stop tagging Jim in these videos.
Well, people know that Cornette is gonna go off, and I love a good Cornette rant myself.
You love Jim Cornette,
dude. I think he's hilarious, but at the same time, like, people know he's gonna go off and just like go crazy. But yeah, so Cornette was like, so apparently this is a great Kota Ibushi that some people rave about. Another piece of shit playing wrestler that hangs around with noted disgrace to our business, Kenny Omega. Birds of a feather shit the same, apparently. Someone please tell him I said, fuck you.
I wonder, he like doesn't even know about like Kenny and Kota Ibushi apparently from what I'm gathering, like he has no idea.
Yeah.
Oh man. So then Kenny ended up responding to that, and he basically said, Jim, I've told you in the past that I'll allow you to use me to further, your career and to make money off of me. He's like, on one condition, that you don't pollute my timeline. He was like, don't make me take action here. Don't force my hand.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Like, what is Kenny Omega gonna do? Like, I don't know if he realistically could do anything, but he makes it sound like pretty like scary, like he's gonna do something.
Yeah. So I don't know. Another interesting situation. I know some people are joking, all into Omega versus Jim Cornette.
I pay money to see that.
Oh my god.
I'll pay money to see anybody beat up Jim Cornette. I'm old school, bro. Anytime Jim Cornette got beat up, like it was always like money. So that's pretty interesting. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. Also, if you didn't catch it this past week, Rocky Romero was on Talk Is Jericho, which was really good. You caught that episode.
Yeah,
right?
I caught it. It was pretty good, talking about a little bit about his early career as being like Black Tiger and kind of bouncing off to all the different promotions he's been to, and kind of how he got into being Office and helping out with the guys and wrestlers coming in. So great stuff. And speaking of Rocky Romero, he gave us a shout out. And he does like the plug, and there's no promises, but we're working on getting Rocky on the show.
Yeah, so I didn't know we were going to announce it, but I guess we could talk about it. Yeah, so I met Rocky at WrestleMania weekend, and we talked for a bit. It was actually during the Red Pro show. He was outside. Yeah, Red Pro, yep. And at the Sugar Mill. And he was outside, we were talking, and I was like, hey, Rocky, I run this show, it's pretty cool, and he was like, oh, really, how many guys you guys have, like, how many listeners do you have? And I kind of kayfabed a little bit. And I told him the truth, though, and he was like, wow, he's like, that's great, man. He's like, well, you'll have to have me on sometime. And I was like, all right, Rocky Romero. Like, yeah, absolutely. He's like, yeah, my schedule's really busy, but if you just keep bugging me about it, like I would love to be on it. So
Yeah,
which we're really excited about. And we just recently, we're in communication with Rocky, and he said that his schedule's hectic, but like we're gonna work it out and get it done.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be here in Florida for Daytona. We're going to be at that show. So hopefully that'll be an opportunity to work out. If not,
We'll figure it out.
so we will get Rocky by the end of this year. We're going to get Rocky Romero on this show.
Yeah, so I didn't know we were going to drop that, but that's cool. In other news, so Mauro Ranallo, who used to call, he was the voice of New Japan Pro Wrestling when they made the switch over to Access. He had a new documentary that just premiered. It's out on Showtime. It's called Bipolar Rock and Roller. I haven't seen it yet, but obviously if you're a fan of wrestling and you know the stories, you know that, Mauro kind of deals with bipolar disorder and depression, and that's been well documented. And from what I'm hearing, the reviews on this documentary are like through the roof.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance to watch it either, but I've been hearing great things about it.
I'm going to check it out this week.
Yeah.
In between all my wrestling viewing, I'm going to check it out. So, but yeah, I mean, hats off to, Mauro for doing something so brave and, allowing his life to be documented in such a like open and like transparent way, which is definitely difficult for a lot of people. And it's a good thing that what he's doing, and we'll be able to talk more about it, I guess, once we've seen it. But, Mauro like really did a lot for New Japan Pro Wrestling when they first came here to America. So
yeah, I mean, that whole platform kind of jumped him into WWE. That's how he kind of got noticed there. And he was on Sam Roberts Wrestling podcast last week, kind of talking about the documentary and his career. So that was another good listen too.
Nice. Another rumor, so Johnny Impact or Johnny Lucha or
Johnny Mundo, John Morrison, John Hennigan.
Well, I think John Hennigan is his real name.
Yeah.
However you know him, Johnny, there was rumors within on Wrestling Observer Radio that there's been contact between Johnny Impact and New Japan, and that he was the one that initiated it, and that he's trying to, by the end of the year, like appear in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Which,
yeah, there was a paragraph in it about it in the Observer. It says John Hennigan has inquired about coming in. Previously, there had been interest, but he was held up politically because he was working for AAA, and New Japan won't use AAA talent because of its loyalty to CMLL. Same thing with Ring of Honor, who also won't use AAA talent, even though Rey Mysterio right now is working for New Japan and AAA. So they're not as hard and fast on the rule as they were a year ago. And that comes from the Wrestling Observer from last week.
See, I don't agree with that, because they shut down the
Lucha Bros
match during WrestleMania weekend on a show that like no one was going to see.
Against
Golden Lovers versus Lucha Bros. Yeah. Which that was at a WrestleCon Super Show. Like, who's going to see that? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So few people see that, and they shut it down because they were non-CMLL talent. And hey, I don't know. Like, you can tell me that things have cooled down, but bro, like,
there's still heat.
There's heat with AAA and CMLL, and it's never going to go away. So I don't know how true any of that is. I take it with a big grain of salt. I do think it's interesting that Johnny Mundo has interest coming to New Japan, which is great. Although I'm kind of like, well, if you're AAA has like a working agreement with Noah, because they're in that same network with Noah and Impact and all that. Yeah. And he's already tied to both of those companies. I'm like, why doesn't he just go to Noah?
He wants to go where the big boys play.
He wants to, but it's like, I mean, is he going to leave? To me, the only way it works is if he leaves AAA. Yeah. And I don't know if he's even eligible to do that. So we'll see.
So if he comes to New Japan, is he going to become Johnny New Japan, or?
Yeah, what would his name be?
Johnny Strong Style?
Johnny Tokyo? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Johnny, what would he call himself?
Yeah, Johnny Strong Style, or?
I have no clue. Yeah. Johnny Japan?
Yeah, Johnny Japan.
Johnny Puro? I have no clue. So that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. What would they call him?
I don't know.
Johnny Lariato?
I kind of like that.
Someone should tweet him and say that your name should be Johnny Lariato. I just came up with that on the spot.
Yeah, that was nice.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think we're seeing him. Maybe we will. We'll see. So some dates came out. So between now and the end of the year, the LA Dojo out in Los Angeles is going to be running 5 more camps. They'll be running camps on July 9th to July 11th, and then again on July 13th to July 15th, and then again July 17th to July 19th. So it looks like they're just taking weekends off, but they're running, straight through from the 7th to the 19th. And then another camp in October from the 5th to the 7th. And then finally at the end of the year from December 3rd to December 7th with Katsuya Shibata as well as Scorpio Sky, the head trainers over at the New Japan LA Dojo.
Our good friend Scorpio Sky.
I want to meet Shibata. But yeah, so aside from that, there was a news story that broke out with Tokyo Sports. So Tetsuya Naito and the rest of the LIJ boys went out to their famous family diner to celebrate the 30-year anniversary of LIJ's formation. And Naito told the boys to get anything they wanted on the menu. And then apparently the Tokyo Sport, which I don't know if these are kayfabe stories or if they're real. Yeah. I really don't know.
Yeah.
Chris Charlton's the one that puts them out, which is always great. But yeah, apparently Naito had to go call a cab for the guys, and then mysteriously he was just not back.
Dine and dash.
The rest of the guys went to go check on Naito to see how he was doing, and then they left the bill with Tokyo Sport again, which is like the 3rd or 4th time this year that they've done it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I really like those stories.
Yeah.
Last 2 bits of news, and we'll wrap it up here, which I'm glad we're wrapping up the show kind of quicker than normal.
Yeah.
Good. We're hitting our stride. But Kazuchika Okada has passed Mizawa's cornerstone of 700. Well, basically Mizawa's record of holding the All Japan Pro Wrestling Triple Crown for 705 days. Okada has officially surpassed that, and he's past 705 days now, which that was considered one of the most legendary title runs in history, and Okada is now past that. The only other from major promotions, the only other major title reign in recent times that is longer than this is Kenta Kobashi's GHC title reign in Noah, which was 735 days. If Okada beats Kenny Omega, he will surpass that. And aside from that, in order for you to find a longer title reign, you're gonna have to go back. You're gonna have to go back to like the 70s, basically.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that'd be interesting. I mean, clearly, Geto and the booking team they're set out on making Okada, a living legend and one of the best in New Japan history.
Do you think they're thinking about Kenta Kobashi's record when they're thinking about the booking of this match with Omega?
I don't know. Possibly. I mean, that's like some WWE stuff. Or try to break people's records. Say,
what would you think if Okada just keeps holding the belt and just keeps going?
I don't know, man. If Omega can't get it done, I'm pretty pissed if Omega loses.
But here's the thing, bro. Okada just keeps having great match after great match after great match, and they're making money every single time.
I know.
I'm like, why would you take the belt off the dude?
I know, but come on, man.
Do I take a gamble on Kenny Omega? What kind of returns are we talking about here versus a proven draw, a proven commodity?
Right.
You know what I mean? Are people getting tired of him yet? I don't know. I know, maybe American fans to some degree, especially casual
Japanese fans probably. I don't know. Personally, for me, I think the time is now. His time is now for.
Jeremy doesn't even want to get into the analytical business side. I want Kenny Omega to win. It's time.
Put the belt on Kenny Omega.
Oh my God, yeah. So congratulations, Okada. You have now officially surpassed Mitsuhara Mizawa's 705-day reign, and good luck to you in your continued title run. And then last bit of news. So the Young Bucks officially, they were kind of getting questioned online about what they're going to do, and they said that they they didn't really say they're going to WWE or anything like that.
Yeah, well, what it was, somebody tweeted them and said, "Oh, we really hope to see you in WWE." And I forget which Young Buck responded, but pretty much he was saying, "Oh,
we got 6 months left in our contract."
Yeah, he's like, "I'm glad you say that, but we have 6 months left on our contract." So,
which is not necessarily to me an indication that they're going anywhere.
Right.
But obviously the Wrestling Observer Radio just recently talked about, with the new television deal, WWE's going to be making over the next 5 years $2 billion, regardless of what happens over the next 5 years for both of their television deals combined. Their stock is at an all-time high. They're going to make more money these next couple of years. I mean, this is the most lucrative the company's ever been.
Yeah, that's just the TV revenue. I mean, there's still going to be merch and stuff from the network and advertising. So they're going to be making a ton of money. So, I mean, right now they're playing collect the wrestler, and they're trying to take all the top stars off of the indies. So
do you think that they're going to buy the Young Bucks or buy Kenny Omega? Because that's what they were like hypothesizing on.
Right. I think they're going to, I'm pretty sure they're going to throw an offer out, knowing now that it's public knowledge that these contracts are ending soon. They're probably going to throw out a big money offer to these guys. Will they take it? Who knows? They seem to really like what they're doing. They love their creative freedom. I mean, and you think about it, their WWE tag divisions the last 10, 15 years, the tag division has not been that much of the focus. It's had its hot spots here and there, but overall it's been said by Vince's right hand mans that Vince hates tag team wrestling.
But if you really think about it, is tag team wrestling really thriving anywhere? Really? I mean, the Young Bucks are the draw everywhere.
Right.
But I mean, we're not living in a golden age of tag team wrestling. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you think, what indie tag teams do you think of right now that you think are great?
I can't think of any outside the Young Bucks that come straight to my mind right now.
Me either, man.
Yeah.
Me either. You know what I mean? So
Lucha Bros, I guess.
Yeah, the Lucha Bros are great. The Chosen Bros are great, but I mean, they're kind of makeshift tag teams. There's not anyone out there putting in the time and everything like that. So I mean, we can criticize WWE all day long, and I'm down with that. But I mean, it's not like tag team wrestling is at an all-time high.
Right, but I'm saying, they've been able to be successful as a tag team on Independence
I'm not taking
and Ring of Honor and Japan.
Yeah.
If they WWE,
will they have that?
Right, how long are they going to before they end up like Galveston and bottom of the barrel?
I just would be very surprised they didn't. Everything that you can criticize WWE's booking, they do. Guys that are really tech and sell merch and that are like us, they do get over. I think they'd be over. I don't think that's the right way to go. They'd be over. So I mean, I guess my final question is just, many all the guys that are in the elite, especially the big stars like Cody, Kenny, and the Young Bucks have all talked about their creative freedom and everything like that. But I mean, with how much money WWE has, do you think we could realistically see a situation where WWE is just I'm gonna buy you? And it's like Ted DiBiase, everybody has a price.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to turn down a big money offer from those guys.
I mean, I don't know what they're making in New Japan, but I'm if they go if WWE goes up to Kenny Omega's I'm gonna pay you $5 million, for this whatever contract. You think he's gonna take it, or be nah, I want to be the IWGP champion? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's.
I don't know. I mean, they talked about this on the Observer, and I thought it was an interesting question. I was just
it's a tough thing, man. It's do you give up your freedom and kind of be a part of this revolutionary thing that's happening on the outside, or do you join the machine, make the most money you can, and get the most exposure you possibly can?
We will wait and see.
Yeah.
So I think that's gonna do it for the news. I know you got your classic outro coming up here with our last bit of stuff, but we've got how many more nights of Best of the Super Juniors coming up? So next week we're going to be covering the 29th, the 30th, the 31st, the 2nd, and the 3rd?
Yeah.
Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I've got a wedding coming up this week, so... When is the 29th? Is that today?
Yes. No, today's the 28th, tomorrow. So this episode will be dropping tomorrow, the 29th.
That episode might not be up till Wednesday.
Okay.
I might fall behind. Listeners, I'm just letting you guys know. I'm going to try my best, but I might fall behind. Taking a look at these nights, is there anything here that like really sticks out to you now that where we're at this point? We've got, the next night coming up, Tiger Mask and Ishimori, ACH and Bushi, Flip and Yo, Ospreay and Kanemaru.
Honestly, that night doesn't look like it's going to be great.
I think Flip and Yo will probably be good, but the one that sticks out most to me is Tiger Mask and Ishimori.
Really?
I don't know. Like, Tiger Mask has been on this grumpy like run, and Ishimori is kind of the dude in the tournament, and I'm just wondering what's going to happen there.
I think Ishimori's going to kill him.
I think he is too, and I think that's going to be the fun of it. The very interesting thing. Following up that, we got May 30th. We got Dragon Lee and Marty Scurll in the opener, Taguchi and Sho in match 2, Sabin and Hiromu night 3, and then Kushida Desperado in the main event. And this looks like a fire card.
Yeah, it does.
Holy crap.
All 4 of those matches could deliver, but I think Sabin and Hiromu are going to do something special.
You're such a Sabin.
Hail, Sabin.
Oh my god. I'm gonna go with I think you could be right because it's semi main event, but I have a feeling Dragon Lee and Marty Scurll is going to be great.
Yeah, it probably is, dude. Dragon Lee's the man.
So, I'm looking forward to that. May 31st, we've got Flip and Bushi, ACH and Ishimori. Have you noticed that ACH looks like evil in this photo?
He kind of does, yeah.
Ishimori and ACH, Tiger Mask and Will Ospreay, and then Yo and Kanemaru.
In the main event. Interesting. I think ACH and Ishimori.
ACH and Ishimori is what catches my eye immediately for that night. And then June 2nd, we have Sabin and Desperado, Taguchi and Scurll, Sho and Takahashi and Kushida and Dragon Lee.
Dude, the semi-main and main, dude. Yeah. Sho and Takahashi is going to be a banger, and so is Kushida and Dragon Lee.
These are the 4 best guys in the tournament so far, I would say, right now. Well, I don't know about Kushida. Maybe Sabin, but still, it's Kushida. Kushida and Dragon Lee is one of those matches I'm looking most forward to so far. And then Sho and Hiromu, that's going to be fire. And then that's going to take us to the final night, June 3rd, which is just incredible night. You got Tiger Mask and ACH, Flip and Will Ospreay, Yo and Ishimori, Bushi and Kanemaru, Kushida, Takahashi, Taguchi, Sabin, Dragon Lee, Desperado, and Sho and Scurll. And we don't know the order this night. They've made it very clear that this is not in any particular order. I'm assuming that either Kushida, Takahashi will main event or potentially Flip and Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess right off the bat that Kushida and Takahashi will be the main event. And that for me, that's the match that I'm most looking forward to that night.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So out of everything that we got coming up, what match are you most looking forward to right now?
Probably, this last night with Kushida and Takahashi, man, we see
that looks great. I think for me, for whatever reason, I'm really intrigued by Kushida and Dragon Lee.
Yeah, because that's a match you normally wouldn't see. They're both baby faces.
Yeah.
Dragon Lee's not in that often, so yeah, that could be something special.
But man, those B block nights, the A block nights, not so much, but those B block nights,
yeah.
We got 3 incredible nights. Well, probably 5, but yeah, we got some awesome nights coming up.
Yeah, so like we mentioned, next week we'll be back with more Best of the Super Junior coverage. Make sure that you are subscribed to the Social Suplex Podcast Network. That's how you get all of our episodes. Definitely, especially next week, we might be dropping our episode a little bit late. So make sure you're subscribed to the network and you'll get a notification when the episode drops.
We're going to drop it late?
Well, you said that you might.
Like what, on a Wednesday?
That's what you said.
I just thought it was socially acceptable for me to be late and you to be caught up. I'll be home.
No, I'll be caught up on everything, but I thought you said...
I might be late on watching.
Gotcha. I thought you meant dropping the episode.
No, not late on dropping the episode. I'm not gonna deprive the people of Tuesday Keeping It Strong Style just because like I couldn't keep up with watching everything on time.
Gotcha. Okay.
Besides, I gave everybody a fair warning before this tournament started. I said, hey, we might fall behind. This is a lot of nights.
Yeah. Well, make sure you stay connected and you're subscribed on the network. Make sure you're following us on social media. On Twitter, I am at Jeremy L. Donovan. Our show is at KI Strong Style. Our parent brand, Social Suplex, at Social Suplex. On Facebook, facebook.com/Social Suplex. Also, we got the Wrestling Squared Circle Facebook group, facebook.com/group/Wrestling Squared Circle. On Reddit, I am the Pro Black Guy. Josh is Keeping It Strong Style. Make sure you check out all the other shows on the network. We have One Nation Radio, hosted by Rich Latta. Dropped his first video podcast last week. Check that out.
Fire.
We got Outsider's Edge with Rance and Carl. We have the Grown Men Watch This Shit, hosted by Chris and James Vanderbeek.
That show is good. All of our shows are good, but Chris and it's
Jeremy Tate or James Vanderbeek. On Twitter, he's James Vanderbeek.
I never know what to call him. Jeremy and Chris, if you guys are listening, I'm really digging what you guys are bringing to the table. We need more coverage. More.
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks is too long. I need more.
Yes, every week, man.
Every week.
Then we got the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show. Hopefully, Ricky will be back this week. They have a great dynamic. Love their show.
Love Ricky and Clive.
The Wrestling Wash is taking a hiatus just due to some technical issues.
How many episodes do they run?
Two episodes. But Caleb's having some technical issues right now.
That's a run that's gonna go down in infamy.
Hopefully, he'll be back soon with Wrestling Wash. But yeah, and
the brightest stars don't.
Hey, you wonder why you're the heel.
The brightest stars don't burn for a long time.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, and just bury that man, dude. Oh my god.
I love Caleb. Caleb's one of my boys. But Caleb, I love you. I just want you to know.
So yeah, leave a rating and review. I've been noticing we have a lot of ratings on Apple Podcasts. Keep those ratings coming. That helps our show get shown to other listeners. So until next time, goodbye and good night. Bang.
Thank you for listening to Keepin' It Strong Style. We'll see you next time.